Yeah. Hey.
Yo, 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 yo.
Let's go.
First Sky Omaha in the morning.
Wake up.
Time to wake up.
Wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. You better wake up from this dream. Life is not what it seems. This culture's not your reality. You better unplug or be a casualty. Cause the life that we lose in the drug and infusing is keeping us off from our greatness. We gotta spread the love and stop hating. Then rearrange these front pages. From murder and death to building our wealth. Removing the stealth. Milking the game till there's nothing left. And teaching my people to love themselves. I'm crashing on competition. That's an interference with the mission. Man, we tired of listening, so we standing up. Unification amongst us. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Time to wake up. Shout out to Sherman Wells.
That's Big Sherman, fool.
Big Sherman.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? First edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning. Happening
In the
right
morning.
here. Yes, sir.
Stumping all on my jingle.
Man. You know, sometimes you come a little late with it because of the internet. Sometimes you
Sometimes it be me.
Luther Vandross on it. So
Sometimes it's me. I can't always blame the internet.
oh, I see. Sometimes you be like, I'll be stuck for a minute. Let me click the button. In the morning. Oh, it's the internet.
Yeah. You know, I'll be making sure I'm ready for the articles. Do the thing we're here to do.
Do the thing we're here to do. That's right. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
How you
it.
doing, man? It was good. I see a few people. Hey, Amber Dennis. What's up, sis? Coming through.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Might know her as Chef.
Okay, Chef. That's cool.
Yeah. Hey.
Getting up early with us. That's what's up.
In the morning.
Sean McCarthy says, "Morning, everyone. What's happening, bro?
What's happening?"
Kimra Snipes says, "Holla, y'all. What's going on, Kimra?"
What is that? What she said? Is that what that says?
That's what I'm gonna say. It says.
Oh, okay. You coming?
Oh,
from
wait a minute.
Cali.
She's coming from the south side, so she might be hola. Okay.
Come on, man.
There
You
you go.
supposed to be the Cali kid,
Hey,
man.
That's my dyslexia kicked in for a second.
Oh,
Headed
okay.
backwards. Hola, y'all.
Holla.
Hola.
Oh,
Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning. Good morning to you. Kimber says off all week long, but waking up for y'all this morning. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. She said old Ricketts was in the headquarters the other day. I heard.
Really? You trying to give him some coffee, no cream? What are you doing over there?
Some coffee, no cream. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the coffee neither.
Hey man, you never know, bro. People's private lives is something else. Marlon Harris, this is a good morning, First Sky fam. Good morning to you. Appreciate you. What's that? Oh, you said gobble gobble, sucker.
Turkey gang.
Turkey gang.
Anybody
Hey,
got
man.
rolled up by a turkey gang yet? They roll up on you, Paul?
Yes. I'm trying to figure out why Turkey Gang why the Turkey Gang always come out around Thanksgiving. Seriously.
I wish y'all would try to catch me.
I don't see him no time in the rest of the year. And they be mobbing down the street around November. I don't get it.
Taking over.
Man. Kimber says he was with Julian. Yeah, Julian Young be making them connections. Come on in.
Hey.
Come on in.
Tell him to cut the check.
Cut the mess first, then cut the check.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Pops in the chat. Good morning. He says good Wednesday morning, First Sky, and mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops.
Okay. What's good with Facebook? I ain't seen nobody from Facebook. Facebook working?
Man, who knows, bro? Facebook, I don't know, but I'm not worried about it. Like I said, we moving everybody over to YouTube anyway, so that's how it's got to go.
Come to death row.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That Facebook days is numbered on. I mean, we've been saying that for a while, but I mean, really, the only reason why we stay on Facebook is because of y'all. Some of y'all are stubborn and not wanting to come over, and I'm like, well, let's open it up for everybody. But Facebook be tripping, bro. Facebook just sent me a message yesterday again, like part of your video is going to be silenced because of copyright.
Man,
blah blah blah.
But we told Sherman to lift the
It ain't Sherman. I mean, like they get it wrong. It ain't just like Sherman or
Mm.
yeah. It's any
Okay.
the beats we play on the break and stuff like that. Like it could be anything. But one thing it was yesterday, pops. I gotta tell you about this one. So I got a message from Facebook. There's Gwen Easter on Facebook. Good morning.
Hey, okay.
Got a message from Facebook saying part of your monetized video, part of the proceeds is going to the copyright holder of the music. And I was like, first of all, they ain't told us nothing about our video being monetized. Number one,
Man.
we don't get no money from the video. Number
Man.
two, who's like we only play our stuff, and then so who they talking about? So I went and dug a little further. It turns out CD Baby was asking for Pop's theme. I was like, hey,
Mm.
I can dig that. So
Okay.
if Facebook is making some money off of our videos, which it sounds like they are, some kind of way, part of the proceeds will go to the copyrighted the person who got music on it. So I don't know. Look for your 0.00001 check pops. See
Man,
what's happening.
yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Play it enough, they might send you a penny.
Nice shiny penny.
Man, this game is dirty.
Dirty. Rome's review says early in the morning, I put breakfast on your table. Make sure that the coffee has its sugar and cream. The eggs are over easy. Your toast done lightly. All that's missing is your morning kiss. Man,
Okay. What
what
song
song
is
is
that?
that?
Yeah. What's that? What
Sound
jam
like
is
some
that?
yacht rock from the 70s or something.
Some yacht rock? Okay.
You ever heard of yacht rock?
Not really, no.
Yeah, it's a whole genre. The
Sounds
whole
smooth.
It is. It's like the smooth sailing and them kind of songs from the
Oh, okay.
70s.
Okay.
Take me away. Marlon
Okay.
Harrison says, I saw at least 5 turkeys around West Rose Mall Monday. I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Turkey gang, turkey gang, turkey gang.
You said they come out like, I wish you would. Cameron said, Rome going back. Yeah, man. He said that used to greet me. I'm not your superwoman. Is that what that song is? Oh, it is.
Mm.
It is.
Okay. See, Cameron knew.
I'm not your superwoman. It was the jam.
Okay.
And it wasn't nothing like R&B in the 80s and 90s, bro.
Man, them ballads.
Yeah.
Real ballads.
Big time. Big time.
Okay, Rome's review. Man, see, it's gonna be a little bit more of this in coming up, y'all. Just
Hey man,
just
Maggie
know.
Miller Jenkins actually posted something about Kendrick in Friends of. I was like, what's that?
Mustard.
Mustard on a beat. So
Man.
Yacht Rock is known for glossy production, breezy vocals, and bouncy rhythms. Some of the artists associated with Yacht Rock include Doobie Brothers, Eagles,
Oh man,
Ross,
okay.
Daryl Hall, John Oates, Fleetwood Mac,
Okay.
Steely Dan, Toto. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I went to go see the Doobie Brothers in War perform in Memorial Park a couple years. It was in
Bro,
Memorial Park, bro. I think it was like Labor Day, Memorial Day, or something like
was
that.
I in here? Was I here?
Nah, man. I don't know. I don't know. You been in Omaha what 10,
2010.
12? Oh, okay, going on 15 years.
That's crazy.
Nah, yeah, this was like somebody one of the chat chambers might remember that show. It was at Memorial Park, man. Doobie Brothers, War.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, man.
Or one of my favorite groups to see live for real. Anyway, good morning. That's why we got 7:00. We got hard news coming up in just about a minute. So we just wanted to get on and do the hellos and how you doings and
Yeah.
just talk to the fam. If you want to be part of First Guy fam, come on through, man. Hit us up on Friends of First Guy Omaha on the group page. Come in and be a chat chimer and contribute to the page. I see a lot of people that are trying to drop stuff on the Friends of page that I never
Man.
see in the chat, never see participating. So yeah, gotta have a little back and forth going on, a little reciprocity.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good word. It's a good word.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody who's already done that. We definitely pulled some stuff today, and we got a special guest coming in today. Naomi Hathaway is back on deck. We haven't talked to her in a few years now. She was running for something before, and so now she's coming in a different capacity today. So stay tuned for that. It's going down, man. Fresh edition of First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Happening now. morning, good morning, good morning. Get ready to chime in. A fresh edition of First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Happening now. My name is Paul
Hey.
P.
Hobby.
He's buddy to God. Man, we're talking to all you, the chat chimers, all the ghost listeners, all the monitoring spirits, all the supermen, and all the super women.
Hey, man.
Going
Speaking
down.
of super women, Sister Erica Felt, Miss Erica Felt, man, coming to us. She says, "Good morning. Having my final surgery and listening to y'all while I wait for anesthesia." Man, right.
Wow.
Speaking of super women,
So yeah, for real. As you drift off, just think first guy, first guy.
man, first guy.
Ryder Crystal, I see some new names. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Appreciate you coming in. Amy H in the house. Good morning. Appreciate you coming in. I'm glad you're here today. We got some stuff we want to talk about a little bit more about what's going on in certain food banks around. And
Man,
yeah, it was interesting
man.
because I was trying to get some firsthand information from what I saw from the Heart Ministry Food Bank, which is quality stuff. It's not like that everywhere. So things to talk about today, and also special guest Naomi Hathaway will be back. She'll be representing
Yeah,
IB Black Girl. Going to talk about a few things that's going on there. So
man, y'all
shout
got it
out,
going on.
got it very much going on. Clarice Jackson could not had to call me last minute, said she couldn't make it. So if you saw that post about her coming, just want to let you know that she will not be here this time. We'll have to postpone with her as well. So yeah, man, everybody does the best they can and try to get up in the morning and come talk to us. And we got to give everybody grace when they got things to do. We're all
Man.
up taking care of stuff. People got the kids all week. All that good.
Emphasis on all week.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've been hearing
Okay.
that. I
Yeah.
can't do nothing this week. I got my
Yeah.
all the kids is home.
I wonder, actually, anybody tuned in right now? Are y'all working today? Are you tuning in with us on your day off? You could have slept in this morning. You here with us? Thank you.
There you go. There you go. Appreciate everybody getting up early this morning. We do have some news to talk about, and then we're gonna jump into another hour after the 8 o'clock mark for more discussion. So we'll have some more discussion after 8 o'clock. I hope you stick around for that, and hope you stick around for the news. Can't wait to speak to you about some of the articles that we've pulled and some of the things that's happening. So thank you. I see Measurement Jenkins is up. Appreciate you.
Hey.
Appreciate everybody that's come in this morning and having a good. Felt like everybody was having a little bit of a good time this morning. So
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. We'll talk more coming up. A few things happening in the community that we need to get up to though. And again, I appreciate everybody who put stuff in Friends of First Guy Omaha. And I find myself checking certain places around. There's places that are really kind of doing pretty good about the community news. We're just steady building up this media conglomerate of people that are really trying to talk about what's going on and
Yeah.
have some topics they're bringing up. The latest cast that are doing that is Jaqueen over there with Dreamland Report. The Dreamland Report's going down. I'll go ahead and put the link tree in so you can check it out. But what they just did was, first of all, they dropped an article that we got on Friends of First Guy Omaha. You can see. But the recent thing that's happened is that they're doing the same kind of thing that we were doing on our newsletter, which is a survey about what the news landscape is, what it is that you want to hear about, what's important to you, and so on. I'm gonna drop that engagement in the chat as well. I hope you hit that and fill out that survey so we can all kind of get a better idea of the news landscape and what we need from it, what we want from it
Man.
here with us. So shout out to Dreamland Report that's doing the thing big time, man. It's definitely feeling pretty good about what's going on over there and the activity that's happening. Something else. Another thing I wanted to talk about in the community right now, we know that we're in a nonprofit town, and around this time of year, it don't just get cold, but it's also that time for all the galas, all the fundraisers. Early giving is happening right now. Share Omaha has the giving Tuesday coming up. And this is a flyer from One Omaha. One Omaha is Kimmer's heading up One Omaha. That's the organization that's our fiscal sponsor and doing really good stuff as far as neighborhoods are concerned. They're a nonprofit
Yeah.
organization. If you want to give around this time, then this is one of the organizations you definitely should be giving to. So yeah, check out the Giving Tuesday hashtag shareomaha.org, and then you can kind of click on like One Omaha, and I think you can donate that way as well. So just wanted to talk about that a little bit because we don't talk about it enough. A lot of us have organizations that aren't fully funded all the time, and so we get around this time, and I've been a part of other communities, helping put together the Benson Theater and so on and so forth, and figuring out how other communities do things for Giving Tuesday. They kind of save all their giving to one part of the year because they know they're going to be spending those $200 gala tickets and going to different fundraisers and stuff to really kind of enhance what's going on in the nonprofit sector. But in our neighborhoods, it's a little bit different because our organizations aren't funded, and we try to depend on each other in order for us to be able to sustain. So it gets tough. It's real tough. Like when you get asked to go out and try to raise money for another organization, and you're thinking to yourself, my organization ain't fully funded yet, and I really don't have no kind of extra cash like that to be. If I'm gonna raise $100, I got to raise it for my company. Like
Mhm.
we're always coming from this point of view of we're not fully funded ourselves. So how do we get to where we have like discretionary funds to help fund other entities? So just something to talk about. I wanted to kind of put it out there and see what you, the Chad Chimers, especially think about that, and especially people who are a part of organizations that depend on donations, depend on that. So
Actually, speaking of that,
mhm,
camera in the chat again. One Omaha executive director right now says all of the money we raise will go to our mini grant program for 2025. Next week,
or
we're giving away $10,000 to neighborhood leaders. When I got to One Omaha, we were giving away $2,000. So she's definitely making the bag a little bigger, and you can help with that by again donating to One Omaha. This upcoming is this the upcoming Tuesday? Is that this next Tuesday?
I don't know. I pulled this. I don't think I can't remember when Giving Tuesday is, but
Yeah. Is that
yeah,
is that connected to the marathons we used to have in Minus Soul? Remember the all
yeah,
day?
yeah. It was called something different back then, but yeah,
Right.
yeah. So it's the one where the Humane Society gets most of the money.
Man, that part.
That
That
one.
part.
But,
Yeah.
but like I said, other organizations get it's that time. It's that time for people who have discretionary funds to be able to, and also ones that need the tax write off to
Mhm.
come through
Yeah.
and do what you gotta do. December 3rd, Kimmer says.
Okay. And
So
yeah,
this
that's
coming
next
up.
Tuesday. Next Tuesday.
Yeah. So I just want while this is going on, because we're all asking each other for help.
Yeah.
We're all trying to be sustained by each other. I think of like Black Agenda Alliance. I think of like Dreamland a report this just launched. We're doing
Mhm.
a fundraiser to help with the launch of Dreamland report. We're trying to be sustained by you. We have some reoccurring members. $10 people, $25 people, $50 people that are helping us, and we're trying to grow the membership because we want to be funded by our community. But we also know that our community don't have all the discretionary dollars all the time to be able to help fund those things. So I wanted to get that discussion going because how do we do that? How do we support each other at the same time, try to raise funds for our own organizations? How do we leverage going outside of our community to bring dollars into the community and so on and so forth? So we'll see what's going on. Kimmer is in the chat saying we will be at the Essential Gathering Place that evening for our award ceremony. So
Okay.
be looking out for that on December 3rd as well. Appreciate that. I appreciate everybody coming on in on this subject. So anyway, yeah, just wanted to bring that out. That's kind of something that was on my mind. Something that we've been talking about before. So yeah, we got to definitely check that out. Also, just wanted to give a shout out to the Black Agenda Alliance Urban Survival Club. Speaking of the
Man.
Black Agenda Alliance. Yeah,
Okay.
they just graduated some kids there, man. So shout out to the work that Brother Kasim and the BAA is really doing over there, man, trying to help these young folks with all kinds of things they need help with,
Man.
and giving them some skills on top of that and some community. So yeah, if you like I said, man, if you're talking about trying to help support organizations that are doing boost to the roots real work, working with
Good in the
actual
hood.
kids, yeah, man. Black Agenda Alliance for real. So shout out to them. And speaking of Black Agenda Alliance, don't forget they're going to have the biggest Kwanzaa celebration in the Midwest, according to Brother Kasim.
Hey man, brother Nuri Muhammad ain't he's not a slouch, man. He's definitely up there with Minister Farrakhan and
Yep,
master speaker.
master speaker. So we can't wait to speak to him and see him. There's going to be other guest speakers there as well. And we're gonna First Sky Omaha is definitely going to be representing there as well on this meeting. So put this on your date as well. December 27th, 6 to 9 is going down. Black Agenda Alliance, Malcolm X Memorial Foundation presents the Kwanzaa celebration. We'll definitely be talking more about that. Have Brother Kasim on soon as well. And I might even be doing a special presentation over our break to
Hey,
be able to speak with Brother Muhammad. So we'll see what's happening. We're working it out.
yeah, brother's gonna work it out.
Brother's gonna work it out. Don't forget, Christmas in the Village is happening as well. Saturday, December 7th, coming up. 24th in Ohio to 24th in Burdett. Their decorations and stuff is going up now. So as you can see, Empowerment Network is teamed up with a whole bunch of people: Charles Drew, American National Bank, so on and so forth. And this gets bigger every year. So 14th annual Christmas in the Village, 24th and Lake. You're invited. Come on through, and yeah, man, get busy. If that's your bag, then go ahead and hang out and make it a community event. So shout out to Empowerment Network for always putting together some of these big events, man. Really appreciate that
Man,
very much.
down on the deuce.
Yep, down on the deuce. And let's see, still looking at a couple. Let's see, there's one more. This pop up and spin, something that I think is pretty interesting. I think this called the Friendsgiving edition. I have friends that have Thanksgiving at their family's house, and then sometimes they might get a little they need a little break from the fam sometimes because they be in
Hmm.
town. And so yeah, when I was kind of doing DJing and stuff like that, I kind of noticed that there was on Thanksgiving Day, there's people that still wanted to, need
Oh,
to get
wow.
away from the family, but still wanted to come out. So there was always like parties happening at the last part of the Thanksgiving night. So here's one that's popping up. I've been seeing floating around town too. Definitely check it out. African Cocktail Lounge, 7215 Blondo Street, place I haven't checked out yet.
Okay.
If you check this out, let me know. Let me know what's happening with the pop up and spin. But yeah, been seeing this float around. Just wanted to put that out there in case you need to get away from your family after Turkey
Yeah.
Day,
Or if you want to go out with the fam.
or take the fam out. You got your
Yeah.
favorite cousins in town and all
You know what I'm
that.
saying? You know what I'm saying? All that. All that.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Kimber Snipes says One Omaha fiscally sponsors the Dreamland support and us too, and for Sky Omaha.
Yeah.
So shout out to One Omaha for doing that work and everybody else, man. Appreciate that too. Also, Miss Erica Fell says Mr. K's Clubhouse just released his Holiday Helpers movie on the YouTube channel. It highlights Kwanzaa, Christmas, and Hanukkah for the children. Okay,
Okay.
that's what's
Nice.
up.
Nice.
Also, I failed to get his. He got a Christmas thing coming up too. We have to
Yeah.
grab Mr.
Yeah.
K's
Yeah.
Clubhouse Christmas thing coming up. Yeah,
The Christmas extravaganza. I think he's doing some registration for that.
there you go.
Also, we were speaking about down on the deuce, man. Ain't there some things going on at the Culture House? They got an art battle coming up.
They do. I didn't get the flyer for the art battle. That's coming up in a couple weeks, so we'll
Okay.
be talking about that coming up for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
shout out to them, man, for doing what they're doing. That's really what's happening.
Yeah, man.
Definitely go check out that Black Intellect
Mm.
exhibit over there, though. It's going to be going on until what's
December 14th.
December 14th. Yeah. So, yeah, ongoing thing, man. I love the fact they're using this space as a gallery as well. You can come and check it out, and they got gallery hours and so on and so forth. So definitely check out Culture House, 3012 North 24th Street. Weekend hours are 10 to 6, Sunday 3 to 7. Take the weekend, man. Go check out some creativity, some art from our community. Big time, big time.
Nice. Yeah,
Also,
man.
shout out to Black Men's United for the Toys for Tots sign up. This is also something that's happening as well from November 25th to 12/6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 3. You can see pickup dates will be given and during sign up. You can call them at 402-213-7053. So check out Black Men United. Got this thing floating around too. I've been seeing this. They do this all the time too, every year. So this is what's up. The Kumani Restorative Justice Center, 4200 North 30th Street, across from AutoZone.
Yep.
Please park on the north side of the building. Do not park on the south side of the building. So yeah, man, shout out to Black Men United for what they're doing as well. Big
Yeah,
time.
man. Yeah. That Toys for Tots, man, really, really helps some families, who might be struggling during the season.
Big time, big time. That's pretty much it. We got some haps a little later, but that's it for the community updates right now. Let's go ahead and jump into some of today's top headlines that we're going to be talking about as well today too. And can't wait to get your comments and thoughts on, buddy. What's going on today in the news?
Yeah, man. It's not only holiday season, but it seems like it's announcement season as far as political races coming up for next year. A lot of people are making their announcements, and yeah, we're here for it. Actually, things looking like it's going to be pretty interesting, especially on the north side. North Omaha community leaders announcing that will be running for Omaha City Council, which is something that we should be looking out
Mm.
for. Also, the mayoral race kind of heating up, and I'll be honest, man, I'm not really happy with how some major outlets, if you will, are covering how the race is shaping up. Again, uh, Senator Mike McDonald recently announced that he will be running for mayor, but they acting like he's the only one that has announced recently. They acting like the race just now starting. So yeah, we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about that, and the tone again as that mayoral race and city council definitely is something. If you're not paying attention, if you're not looking out for it, you definitely should, because a lot of issues that impact us all, especially juvenile justice, criminal justice, a big issue coming up in the next year's mayoral election. And yeah, one Douglas County public defender is making his own suggestions ahead of the election, especially to the juvenile justice situation. Remember that kids' jail that Douglas County spent millions and millions of dollars to build, and you taxpayers are spending thousands of dollars to keep open, is still not open. But yet the lights are on, the money is going out, and here we are. So yeah, we'll be talking about that coming up. Also, speaking of the money going out, man, we talked about the power bill going up. If you haven't heard, again, power bills out of OPPD expected to go up. Some people pointing out to the fact that that's kind of tied to what's going on with the data centers, and now we can follow the money, man. Shout out to the Nebraska Examiner reporting on some of the investments that Google is making in the state of Nebraska and Omaha and Lincoln areas. Yeah, we're gonna talk about all that and more throughout the next couple of hours. As Paul mentioned, we do have a special guest, Naomi Hathaway, coming through representing IB Black Girl. So we're definitely going to dive into some of the work that they're doing in reproductive justice. Of course, abortion, a big issue in the last election, and expecting that to make a return in the legislative sessions coming up next year. So again, all that and more for the next couple of hours. First guy Omaha in the morning. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo,
What's the word, man? What's the word?
man,
How you
appreciate everybody that's jumping into the chat big time right now as well. I mean, you
The
guys are
chat's
in
going
there.
off.
Chat's going off. Appreciate everybody that's coming in talking about all these things that are happening. I see Anthony Rogers right in the chat talking to Maggie Miller Jenkins about HR 9495. We'll definitely we'll get into that as well. There's a lot of
Okay.
things to talk about here, so we appreciate everybody that's putting these things in. We'll have a lot more discussion a little bit next after the 8 o'clock hour, second hour of First Guy Omaha in the morning. So appreciate that. Mr. McDonald is I asked you to put that SoundCloud in there for your interview with Mr. McDonald, so he did that. Anthony Rogers Wright
Okay.
put that link in there to check that out. And yeah, so we'll definitely be talking about what's going on with that. That's the next kind of things as far as races are concerned. The mayoral race
Man,
will be a
city
big one
council.
next year, and city council for sure.
Yeah, man.
So we'll talk about that and lots more. Appreciate everybody coming in this morning. We'll take a quick break and come back and jump into this news and get it going so we can make sure that we have ample time for our special guest coming through. So stay tuned. Again, you're listening to First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B.
Hobby.
He's Buddy to God.
Hey.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all. Yo. Welcome back. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Yep. Good morning to y'all. Trying to keep up with this chat. Appreciate it. Runs Review says those
Man.
who wanted all the credit for the kids in jail are now placing all the blame. Very interesting comment there. Yeah, man. We've been talking about this kid jail thing for a minute, and yeah, it's I don't even know what to say. I'm like I don't want to get into it because we're gonna get into some other things first. But man, it's one of them glaring things. It's one of those things that's just like when you want to talk about something being broken,
Man.
it's it's hard to not think of that thing like it's such a I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to get into it. What we got coming
Yeah,
up
yeah,
first,
yeah,
buddy?
yeah.
What's the
Hold on,
first on
hold
the
on, hold
agenda? I
on.
don't want to take over the
Yeah, 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 yeah. Appreciate that, y'all. Yeah, keep
yeah.
those thoughts though. Keep those thoughts. Keep that energy. But man, I definitely wanted to jive off with some announcements, some North Omaha news. Again, the election is shaping up for next year. I know, Paul, you're ready to be done with the election talk and trying to take a break and take a breather. But here we are gathering up and gearing up for next year. And yeah, now more announcements coming out of North Omaha as community leader Miss Lavanya Goodwin, per Omaha World Herald, has announced her intention to file and run for District 2 City Council seat in 2025. The seat is currently held by Miss Juanita Johnson, who assumed office on June 6th of 2021. So it's been a few years since Miss Juanita Johnson took the helm. And Johnson said by phone that she does intend to seek re-election next year. Candidates for city election must wait until February to file their paperwork. So again, official announcements and all the official again duties and preemptive things will have to wait. But right now, Goodwin is executive director of the North 24th Street Business Improvement District Association. A statement released by Goodwin said that she has secured about $15 million in local and federal funding for the North 24th Street, the streetscape master plan, excuse me, and says this year Forbes listed Omaha as the number one city to live in the nation. Now is the time for North Omaha to catch up to that positive momentum. So again, yeah, she says her expertise in community development, passion for serving Omaha positions me to be a voice and advocate for our neighborhoods and businesses. So here we are. Looks like it's going to be a pretty interesting, to say the least, city election race next year between Miss Juanita Johnson and Miss Lavanya Goodwin, who hasn't had the most functional relationship, to say the least.
To say the least. Yeah, I definitely
Yeah,
remember watching some city council meetings and some heated stuff going back and forth between the city council and Lavanya Goodwin on the stuff that she was doing. So I remember us reporting on that. As a matter of fact,
yeah,
there was just
yeah.
a little bit of disrespect and stuff going back and forth. So I'm not surprised that she's deciding to run, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Man,
Give us your
big
thoughts
time.
on
But again, she's
also.
not the only one.
Mhm.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, putting out to the chat chambers. Give us your thoughts on the work that Councilwoman Juanita Johnson has been doing, and whether or not what's your kind of early thoughts on her continuing that work or not.
Yeah, 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 and yeah, that's should be interesting. To kind of both representing 24th Street business improvement districts, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
gonna be interesting race.
mhm.
Yeah, yeah, it's a couple things, couple things. But again, as I, as I was mentioning, she's not the only one announcing her intention to, be active in next year's elections. Also, a few mayoral candidates have announced over the last months, and I'll be honest, I'm not being happy. I'm not too happy with how this mayoral race is being reported on right now, specifically from KETV. Again, the news broke kind of earlier this month, late last month. It was swirling around that Mike McDonald was considering running for mayor, and now the announcement has been made last week. And just this first line in the article, again, KETV Channel 7, which we'll have some other conversations about, but they started off the article saying the race for mayor kicked off with Mike McDonald's announcement last week, which it just feels like, are you excluding the fact that two black candidates announced months ago? Like, but the race starts with anyway. Public safety and Omaha streetcar projects are the top issues between these two mayors. According to this article, McDonald's saying we have to think outside the box. Of course, the kind of the contention point between the two mayors is the Omaha Police Department and staffing issues with Omaha Police Department. McDonald has some ideas about how to increase staffing. The mayor's thought that is sticking with the shtick that Omaha Police Department is one of the best in the nation. Crime is going down. You know, the whole rhetoric that we've been hearing. But that's not really the point I want to talk about with this article. Again, it's how the article is being framed, how the whole race is being framed, and the importance that we, as alternative voices, quote unquote, in this media landscape in the city, not just us, Omaha Star, Dreamland Report, how we kind of need to be present and again pointing to our importance. I just kind of resent the fact that this whole article starts with the race is just now starting, now that another candidate has announced, although two black candidates have announced months ago. It's almost like the race is only between McDonald and Stothard. Is that what y'all trying to say? Let me know how you feel.
Yeah, and earlier in the chat, Anthony Rogers Wright had a conversation with McDonald, so you can check out his SoundCloud and go listen to that. And I think this is one of those ones that we need to really be talking about. He said, "Tell us how you really feel, buddy. Tell us how you really feel, brother Anthony Rogers Wright." He says, "I hear you, buddy, but neither Democrat candidate nor mayor has had an actual kickoff at the same level as Mr. McDonald." Okay. What's up with the campaign, bro? Let us know. Let us know if you got any insight on the campaign. Yeah, by the
You
way,
working on it? You
I mean,
tell
what's
me.
what's, what's really going on? Planning for a very real fact that this race is going to be between Stothard and McDonald. That's just the reality of the situation.
But does it have to be?
I,
That's my
I
point.
and I don't accept that premise. This is the reason
That's
why
my
we're
point.
here. Yeah, this is the reason why we're here
My
because
point.
we want to kind of big up the people that are coming from our community that are running as well, and the level at which they can run comes from the media, and if we can be part of that media that helps them run on the levels that these other people are talking about running, there
It's
you
all
go.
in the mind, man.
He
It's all
says
in the mind.
not working with Mr. McDonald's campaign. Appreciate that.
Okay.
We gotta be asking these. What I'm finding out from the last election is that we got to ask about who's working on what campaign, and we had to make that clear about what we were doing, our activity, and that's what really kind of put it in my brain. Like, yeah, let's check this. Let's check with everybody next time on this, because we definitely want to make sure that we're like you know working with the plan. The plan is really like we're here to the people from our community that are running for mayor are the people that we want to get behind and the reason why we're doing what we're doing. So, that's kind of like the idea here too. And to Buddy's sentiment, this is what I'm feeling about the situation as well. You're right. It kicked off when there was announcements. That's when it kicked off.
Right.
And I don't want to play into this idea that one candidate got a whole bunch more money and that's why they're the more legitimate candidate or whatever. Yes, the reality is it's going to be some white folks that are going to be battling in when it comes to Omaha. Very true. But we also want to make sure that we're in there with the fight for some alternative perspectives, third
Right.
parties, and so on and so forth, like we talk about. Master Miller Jenkins says the news doesn't see black candidates as newsworthy.
To that
That's
point.
why we're here, right?
To that point. They don't like this whole article doesn't even name the other two candidates to the very last line of the article. Of course, it says they reached out to candidates John Ewing and Jasmine Harris, but did not hear back by the time the story was first published. And my first thought is, how much time did you give them to get back to you? Like, when did you reach out to them? Because again, we got some other conversations to have about Channel 7 and their coverage of news.
Right. Wanda Lewis says if we want change, we have to make our vote count, which is true too. No matter like how big of a race somebody looks like they're running, the power of the especially the black community, man. There's a lot of word of mouth that goes on in our community in a big way, and we can spread that enough in order to be able to have an alternative. Definitely in there with it. Anthony Rogers Rice saying comrades Jane Cleve has basically already said it's going to be between McDonald.
What does
Jane
that
What
mean?
Jane
Who's
Cleave said is not news to me. You know what I'm saying?
who's that?
Yeah,
Who's that?
right. He says, and he's all, and you sound like you promoting him again, bro. Not just the money. McDonald has an army of labor workers behind him. When workers unite for you're really good shape. Okay. Don't want to take away from the fact that the reality of the situation is that we are living in a red state with a whole bunch of white folks, that it is going to be a race between some white folks, but it doesn't have to be. And hopefully we're here. Right. What happened with John Ewing is right.
That's what I'm saying.
John Ewing and Gene are comrades. I mean, they've been in cahoots a little bit as well, right? I mean, what's up with his chances? So I mean,
Right. Isn't he the county treasurer? Like he has no chance.
yeah.
Yeah, no chance.
I'm glad we're talking about it because that's the whole point. You know, like to me, the whole point of the reason why we do what we do is exactly what Buddy's saying. Like if Channel 7 was to frame this, that there are only two people running, and we're here to say no, there's not only two people running. That's
Right.
that's the whole point of us doing what we're doing. Otherwise, we could just sit at home, watch Channel 7, and then try to figure out between these two white folks what we want to do. But that's the point is that there's other stuff going on, and we're trying to definitely gather folks that want to that also understand that and want that to be a thing as well. So the time it's making me say the decision, the time that I want to spend on the subject is going to have to be elsewhere. There's going to be plenty of media out there for the others. Like you said, Anthony Rogers Wright himself has already talked to the man, and he's got it on the SoundCloud to go check out that interview so you can find out what he's all about. But who's giving that time to Brother Ewing and everybody else? We'll figure it out. We'll
Yeah,
figure it
we
out.
definitely reached out, and we'll be planning on bringing both, Sister Harris and Brother Ewing on our platform. At least to give them some time to speak. But and it's not just getting some black candidates in there. It's getting
Right.
candidates from our communities that understand our plight. That was my whole point of pointing out this whole article on Channel 7 is talking about their rhetoric behind the Omaha Police Department. And they're both arguing about how to figure out how the Omaha Police Department can do more. No mention about the 4 people that have been shot by Omaha police in the last couple of months. Like, no mention at all in this article. No mention at all in this debate about how to stop people from getting shot by the police. No apologies to the communities. Nothing about the community from these two candidates. So again, it's not just having a black candidate. It's having a candidate that understands and maybe can side with the people. Like, how hard is that to ask for?
Kimber in the chat saying Mike McDonald, the same person who, when I pulled him off the floor to ask about data to back up LB 620, he said the data is when the kids go to jail. In his words, she says that was his data to support that charging 12-year-olds as adults would deter crime.
So he's
Uh,
behind that.
He says
He's
I could never support someone who wants to attack our kids. Anthony
come
Rogers
on,
Wright
man.
is saying Ewing was a cop. McDonald was the fire chief. No one has ever written a song called F the Fire Department. Just saying. I mean, have you looked into Ewing and what he's done in the community and where he stands on things? You know what I'm
Or what
saying?
about what about Sister Jasmine Harris? Again,
I
that's the
mean,
whole point. Like, you're trying to write off these candidates before the election even starts. Like, that was my whole man. It's all in the mind. If you don't believe they have a chance, they won't have a chance. Like, that's you gotta believe first, like that it's possible.
yeah.
If
Part
you
of the
just write it off, then we're never gonna get change. It's never gonna happen.
and
But it can.
part of the media landscape too is the fact that when, like you're saying, when it comes to belief,
Oh yeah.
the way that things are framed in the media, and that's why it's important to us to frame
And
things
it's
a certain way here.
it's done
Marlon
with intent.
Harrison said this isn't the first time mainstream media has done this. They did this back in 2021, 2017. Here's a young person that is seeing kind of what the media does and makes it happen that way. Wanda Lewis says divide and conquer. I mean that's always the plight, the goal. But I will say, for the most part, it's not a division. We have other voices in that are talking about people. We just like Anthony Rogers Wright is talking about him being a fire chief and some of the good qualities there. We have Kimmer that's talking about some of the bills that he's behind that we're not behind for sure. So, it's 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 for the discussion. It's for the discussion, but for the most part, we also want to make sure that that we keep the goal in mind. The goal in mind is to have different voices out here, have different choices, more choices from our community. That's kind of like what we're about here on that. So Peyton Zyla gives us a good morning. He said, "I see the convo is lively for sure." Anthony Rogers Rice says, "Yes, Paul. Ewing is a neoliberal who lives in Millard. Come on, y'all. Race reductionism is not going to save us. Nobody's doing race reductionism here, bro. You keep on bringing up that word as if that's what we do on this show. That's not what we do. Not what we're talking about. And you got some facts about Ewing. Give us some facts about the man that you just interviewed. I don't. We got to do things different on. We got to do things different here because a lot of this stuff is feeling a little bit like there's an agenda behind it. So and we're being very transparent about our agenda is that we're trying to promote people from our community to sit in seats that have proven to us and they've told us that they're trying to do things to better our community. That's what this is about. And every single time that we feel like there's some people outside of the community that are trying to infiltrate the community, we have to we got to go back to this. So that's cool. We can all look at McDonald and everybody else, but we also gonna look at Ewing, Shelton. Um, we might even discuss some of the does our current mayor have a is she does she have will she does she have any traction in this game as well? Will she be our mayor again after next year? I mean, a lot of things to talk about here, and I want to give the attention to the things that aren't getting the attention. We can see Mike. We can, obviously we can go to Channel 7 and see what's going on with Mike McDonald. We can also go to Anthony Rogers' Right page and see that interview as well. Um, is that a journalistic endeavor, or is that a editorial endeavor? What's what I'm saying? Like, where are you coming from with that? Um, so and I don't think that, and to Wanda Lewis's point, I don't think it's a divide and conquer. I think most people, especially most people who are chat chimers or ghost listeners, or people that are here, are also kind of behind, like, for instance, Miss Shelton. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's a divide. There's nothing that's being divided here. I think that when Anthony Rogers Wright is bringing in other points, it's other points that need to be discussed. We're here to discuss these things for sure and flesh them out. We don't want to just blindly, endorse somebody or any of that kind of stuff, or play that kind of role where we're just saying just get anybody in there that's black. Not what we're doing. Not what we're saying.
No.
He's saying in the chat, Anthony Rogers Rice says, my agenda is simple: power politics. It comes down to McDonald and Stothard. Who would we as black folks back, and how do we put ourselves in a better position to demand concessions?
So that's kind of my whole issue, and that I've teed up the next couple of stories to kind of point out the issues that face our community, and the fact that neither McDonald nor Stothard seem to be speaking to those issues in a way that helps us. That was my whole point in this article. The whole headline says they're safer now. Mayor Stothard and McDonald on public safety and Omaha police. Is that how the community feels? Do either of these candidates echo how the community feels?
I think
No.
we probably all agree no. We probably all agree no. But to Anthony Rogers' right point, to Rogers' point too, we always talk about lanes, and so to his point as well, he's right, because is when it comes down to it's a very realistic possibility that it comes down to them. What are we going to do in that sense? So while we can be over here trying to present an alternative and a different narrative, he can be over there figuring out what we will do when this inevitably happens. What are we going to get behind as well? It is part of the discussion. I'll say that it is part of the discussion. But that's why it's so important for us to talk about whether or not we're endorsing something, or whether or not we're behind it, or whether or not we're behind the campaign, or whether or not, or what our agenda is. We kind of got to remind ourselves to each other all the time, like, where we're coming from and why.
Mm-hmm.
And so, to be fair, like, he's absolutely right when it comes to that. If it does come down to them two, which it most likely will, we're in Nebraska, by the way. And you can see the media is on a mission. We've been talking about Channel 7 here for the last couple of shows, and some of the stuff that's going on there, and kind of hearing from the zeitgeist here that Channel 7 people up top are in cahoots with the mayor and all kinds of people. So it's not like surprising that this article came out framed this way. But we're here to kind of reframe it.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to not accept the premise and have more conversation about it, right? But at the same time, we got to hold those two things in our brain, because at the same time, we do have to have a strategy for what needs to be done if this goes down that way. I think I think that's pretty much all I got to say on that particular subject there, and I hope that we can continue the conversation. We hopefully we can pick this up another time after we kind of let that soak in and think about it a little bit, based on what we talked about today already. So, unless you have anything else to add to that,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I see what you're saying, and I would say on that note, then the question should be, and really should always be, not even based on their policies, but are they willing to listen to the people? Because obviously we can already agree that their policies, what they talking about right now, ain't gonna help. McDonald's talking about hiring more cops. That's not what we see is going to help us? We already know started is a status quo. So what's going on right now, is that going to help us? No. So which one of them will be willing to listen to us to hopefully get some of these changes?
Well, brother
Should be the
Anthony Rogers
question.
Wright is gonna go find out for us. That's my point. Exactly. He said, "Why I went to the McDonald's kickoff, not to support him, to do some reconnaissance." Also a function of power politics. So
I can
I
feel
was
that.
worthy of more
I can feel
discussion.
that. I can feel that. I can
Yeah.
feel that. I can feel that. So on that note,
Yeah.
I do want to tee up for the next article, and we do have our
Yeah.
special guest coming in a little later on. So yeah,
Absolutely.
let's keep this thing moving and talk about some of the issues that are facing us, and yeah, kind of decide for yourself if it does apparently come down. I would love to hear what Sister Jasmine Harris has to say on some of this stuff. To be honest, myself. That's mostly who I'm curious to hear about. But the issue of criminal justice and the justice system. Actually, a long time Douglas County public defender is coming out and suggesting some changes to the criminal justice system. Actually, after 5 decades, 50 years in the criminal justice system, again, maybe some wisdom coming along with that experience from public defender Tom Riley, as being reported by Omaha World Herald, says that he has a few theories as to why no one has challenged him in the nearly 3 decades since he first was elected. Saying that the job isn't much of a stepping stone for higher office. He says representing people accused of serious crimes is unlikely to enamor you to the voting public. The hours and workload can be grueling. It's an all-encompassing job. So maybe he's saying the job is hard, but again, with nearly 50 years under his belt, including 28 years in the elected post and 13 years as second in command, and he says that necessary changes have been halted by politics. Riley said politicking and the perception of being quote unquote soft on crime has halted necessary reforms to address juvenile justice, prison overcrowding, and the untenable number of people with mental illnesses in the state's jails and prisons. Of course, we know that the whole child jail situation has been a debacle, to say the least. Riley lamented, saying that political game playing seems to have derailed the opening of the new juvenile justice center, which still sits empty, of course, in downtown, because the daily population at the existing DCYC fluctuates between 70 to 90 juveniles. And the new facility only has 64 beds, which again, many people said that it was going to be too small before it was even built. And yet, due to, as Riley put it, political game playing, here we are with that same situation. And of course, I've been mentioning the overcrowding in Nebraska's prison population. Again, some of the nation leading prison population growth can be traced back to actually a 2009 bill in the Nebraska legislature, which enacted mandatory minimums, something that, again, former Senator now Justin Wayne has kind of alluded to, as far as the need to change the sentencing policy in the state. Subsequent efforts to eliminate or soften mandatory minimum sentences for some offenses have been unsuccessful and met with resistance. So again, here we have a longtime public defender, kind of echoing what a lot of us have been feeling as far as this whole tough on crime shtick has not helped. It's actually caused all of the problems that we are seeing, which we already knew, but it's very interesting to hear it coming from the quote unquote inside. But again, going back to our conversation on the mayors, which one of them will address this situation in a way that it needs to be addressed?
My first thoughts on this thing with him is um first of all, I wanted to put out to the chat and to the chat chimers and to the ghost listeners. Anybody had any experience with him? Have they had to use him as a public defender? Has anybody in your family had to use him as a public defender? What's your personal experience, first of all? Second of all, he's run unopposed for 3 decades. Is that what I heard?
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Miss Maggie Miller Jenkins says, does anyone know to run against him? Like, it's the first I'm hearing about it myself. Like, she's a lot of open slots on the ballot are simply because there is no one that knows to oppose that position. Thank
Hmm.
you. I'm kind of a little bit on that. Like, yeah, that's kind of interesting. What we kind of know, I think that we've talked about this before about, how does public defenders, how do they actually work? There seems like they're in the same room with the prosecutors, and it kind of, it seems like my general feeling about public defenders that they're not as effective. Like, he's even describing that it's not really a stepping stone to any kind of political or greater position
Hmm.
because so
Just not a sexy job, quote unquote.
Right, and we, it's kind of a cliche a little bit that the public defender just, if it's not really getting much done, you gotta have that high price Johnny Cochran lawyer to do anything,
Mhm,
help to
mhm.
help you do anything. And public defenders are usually in there kind of telling you to cop a plea, or like they kind of work a little bit more closely with the prosecutors. They come from the same office. So how does that work? So I'm just thinking about the position in general, thinking about the reason why this particular person has been 3 decades unopposed, and how effective how has he helped our community is my question as well. So
Mm.
put it out there to the chat. First of all, like I said, if you have any experience, let us know. um that's kind of this kind of what I want to really concentrate on as well. Meji Miller Jenkins says, how do we bring humanity before criminality? Almost all
Mhm.
crimes are crimes of survival. And what if we started the conversation with a focus on humanity of crimes, which no billionaires get arrested for crimes? Yeah, good question. Let us know. I kind of want to know if you, especially if you had any experience, this particular person as well. And what is it you think? Am I off base? Am I like watching too many movies or something? Like I have no experience with a public defender, so I just
Well,
hear what I hear about it.
I would say everything you're saying is, from my observation, accurate, but it's mostly as a result of case overload. Like, you're a public defender, so you're defending many, 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 many cases and don't really have the time to really dig into the case, which it's a lot easier to just, deal with the prosecutor, come up with a plea deal than to dig in and fight a case that can drag out for years. You know, it's,
Right, right.
that will that will cause a bottleneck on the whole system.
Interesting.
So this is kind of a pass through. That's really just the office, but yeah, yeah, it's very interesting to see that this person is pointing out, and kind of echoing a lot of the things that we in the community have been saying, especially about this kid jail, the lack of
Mhm.
mental health, and how mental health is being um pushed through the criminal justice system. Yeah, so yeah, all your questions are very valid, though. I'm not very familiar with this Tom Riley individual. If anybody has any experience, definitely would love to hear from you. And yeah.
Yep. Final thought on that maybe is Anthony Rogers right in the chat saying, my only defense of public defenders is that they are grossly underfunded. So they have stacks of cases and are trying to move through them as fast as possible. We need to increase their funding so they can hire more attorneys rooted in community lawyering.
Yeah,
Um,
that's kind
mhm,
of where my thoughts are when you think of like the eviction court and the works of like brother Dave Pontos, some
right.
of the work that Tenants United has been doing. I my my latest experience with public defender. I didn't have a public defender, but I went to traffic court. I got a speeding ticket and I'm sitting in traffic court, and I see the public defender in there working, and yeah, I could definitely see how a public defender will, can cause somebody to go from a $400 or $500 speeding ticket down to maybe $125 speeding ticket, which we know could be the difference between somebody being able to pay their phone bill that month
Mm,
and get some groceries, or not. So when it really comes down to it, yeah, the public defender office is something that we should maybe pay more attention to, and the whole concept, as Brother Anthony Rogers right is pointing out, of more community lawyering. Some people who can kind of ease. I've known people who got frivolous tickets that kind of can drag on and derail their lives for years. You
mm.
know what I mean? Like, very frivolous tickets, jaywalking tickets for that, end up costing them $400 or $500 for something that, had they had a competent public defender or somebody that can help them navigate, could have got some of those things knocked off. So it is something to look at, and it is something to think about.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We are, especially people in our community, we can't always afford a lawyer, so we depend on the public defender a lot of times, and that's some of the problems that have to do there. I just remember reading some articles about the fact that they're all in the same office, so they really kind of work with the prosecutors a little bit more than other lawyers that you can pay for from the outside do. And that's problematic as well. So yeah, this is one of those things. Maybe we can have Senator Wayne on at some point, speak a little bit more about that position, and the public defender position. He probably knows a lot about what's going on there too. So yeah, I would love to ask some more questions about that and put it out to you, the public, on whether or not you've had experience with public defenders. How have they helped? For sure. I see people in the chat going in as well. Appreciate that. Appreciate you chiming up. Marianne Williams says the prosecutor's office has the even more cases than the public defenders. Prosecutors are also paid by the taxpayer county. Yep, a lot of things to consider there for sure. Matthew Miller Jenkins says I've had a public defender in Omaha during 2020. My lawyer quit after my case because of how grievous and unjust the Douglas County courts worked.
Mm.
Man, that's quite the experience to talk about there. Your lawyer quit because of how bad the courts were working, and so you had to have a public defender. Did the public defender help your situation? Good question.
Mm.
Yeah.
I will say to this point, just kind of looking further through the article, kind of towards the bottom, it does mention that there has been growth of the public defender's office under Mr. Tom Riley's leadership. It says when he got there were fewer than 20 public defenders, and now he oversees an office of about 58. So there's that.
Okay. Well, we'll pick it up and continue on moving on from that conversation. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
man.
Yeah, and it's a good thing to bring up. I'm glad you pulled that article there. It's something interesting and it's new thing on my radar, man. I don't know anything about the that department at all. So really interesting that he's gone 3 decades without being unopposed. Anybody else running for that position? Interesting. Let's take a quick break. It's 7:51 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, that is, we have a special guest that we're waiting on coming in. Naomi Hathaway will be here to talk about some of the things that's going on with IB Black Girl. They just had their Kiki event. I've been seeing some pictures and videos there, man. It looks like they had a good time kikiing with their special guest. So that's what's up. Appreciate it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back again. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, buddy the guy. You all right there, buddy? You good?
Yeah. I'm looking back through the article.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
on your
talk about some
mind now. I
things.
love
Yeah,
it.
no, it's a couple things we.
Stay tuned, yeah. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Man, glad you're here with us on this day. Did you tell us whether or not you had the day off today? This is everybody kind of got it off right now. What's going on with your
It
schedule?
seems like most people were working. There's a
At
few
work?
people who say, yeah.
Okay,
Like, Rose of you say he's like Kumo D. I work,
baby. That was my
I
jam
work.
back, bro. That was my jam back in the day, bro. I got that on 45. That's how old I am.
All right.
Yeah, that was the jam. What you guys doing for the holiday? Is anybody doing what y'all doing? Who got the tamales? Who's doing the bird? What's going on? What's going on with the time off? Which is what I always have been look forward to around this time is just the time off and the family that be in town and
There you go.
come hang out, you know.
Yeah. Mama God made it over here on this side.
I was gonna say shout out to Mama God. That's what's up, man.
Yeah. Chilling with the babies and things.
Sounds good. Welcome back. We're about 6 minutes before the 8 o'clock hour. Stay tuned for the second hour where we have a little bit more discussion as well. Hopefully get to speak to our special guest that we're anticipating coming in, Naomi Hathaway. Haven't talked to her for a while.
Yeah.
In this
She was candidate Naomi Hathaway.
Yeah, that's right. When she was candidate Naomi Hathaway. And now she's working with IB Black Girl, which it seems like that's where all the talent's going. In Omaha, man.
Getting down.
Shout out, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Ashley Spivey putting it down. IB Black Girls doing the thing. I'm with it. Appreciate everybody that's joined us and stuck with us. Do us a favor, share the show. Forgot to ask you that earlier. Share the show on your page. Get
Man,
as many people in to talk on this subject as we can. If you miss any parts of this show, you can always go back and watch it in its entirety on YouTube, especially. Like and subscribe while you're over there. If you would, we're trying to build that audience on YouTube. Works a little bit better if we can do things over there on YouTube.
man.
And definitely check out our website, man. The new website is dropped, so firstguyomaha.com. Check us out. Check out some of the news articles that's in there. We'll have some more stuff for you coming up on that too. We're really working on trying to update the website and the newsletter. Those are the two areas that we're trying to fight this algorithm and really kind of get in there. So weekly wrap is happening, dropping on Friday. So stay tuned for that as well. If you haven't signed up for the weekly wrap, please do that. Want to get as many people in our community to sign up there as we can too. So if you would spread the word on that too and give them this link so they can go ahead and join the weekly wrap. It's another way that we have some discussion here when we're not live. Appreciate that very much. This is just like anything. We kind of put this out here. We kind of get weird email addresses from different places and all that kind of weird stuff. We have to constantly kind of like field who's coming in, and I want to see more of our community signing up for this. So if you would spread the word, let them know. Let them know it's going down. Appreciate it.
Spam, oh spam.
Damn. Anybody just to go left for a minute and smell the coffee beans. Anybody been paying attention to the situation with Drake?
Oh man, the lawsuit.
The lawsuit. He lost the rap battle. Now he wants to sue. It's not a lawsuit yet. He's trying to dig for information for a lawsuit. But I just thought it was really interesting. Everybody's just like, when in hip hop has anybody called the police on another rapper? Try to get a RICO case together on another rapper.
Man. Yeah.
Sore loser vibes.
Sick work.
Yeah,
They not like us, man.
Hey, shout out to Magic Miller Jenkins, man. I was as much as you be on what you be on. When you posted something about the Kendrick album, I was like, okay, you know, you got a point of view, you got a point. I understand that, and I think it's great. But but it was just interesting for us to. We're always we've been working behind the scenes to kind of branch out and break out into some of this love supreme idea that we have about how art is really the thing that is going to battle everything that battles, and this is what we are. We're a couple artists. So for us to pivot on, not really pivot, but add to what it is that we're doing with trying to bring in the idea of what is relevant in the world of art to what it is that we're doing in our daily lives and so on and so forth. It just has made me proud when I saw Magic Miller Jenkins in there, dropping something about the Kendrick album to consider, to also have a discussion about. You know what I mean? That was what's up. I see Celeste Butler in the chat. One love, fan. Appreciate you very much. Anthony Rogers Wright said Drake is Canadian. That's all.
That's all.
Stacy Jean says I'm aware of what Baby Drake is doing. Baby Drake. That's funny. He said Rosary said he absolutely no attention paid to celebrities unless they're iced tea.
Yeah.
Don't be faking the funk unless they're Nah, just playing. Yeah, man. I really appreciate everybody. Oh, Magic Miller Jenkins brought this up early in the chat. She says education sessions on the Pequot massacre.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, the Pequot. Which led to the day known as Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Let's educate this. Let's do the whole education on around the subject. One thing that we didn't talk about too is the day after Thanksgiving is now Native American Heritage Day.
Is the day? So it's the month and the day?
Wait, I don't know. No, that's the month we're talking about. What's the day? Indigenous Peoples Day is the day that people are celebrating other than Thanksgiving, and we haven't really said too much about that. So, yeah, Michelle Moreno said this is my regular day off today. Okay, you got a day off. So you got up early on your day off.
Thank you.
That's because you're in there cooking them tamales, ain't you? Appreciate everybody that's joined us today. We're coming up on the 8:00 hour, second hour. Stick with us, and we'll have more conversation during that second hour. Appreciate that. Man. Yeah, and a very lively conversation in the first hour. If you missed that, definitely go back and check out what was being talked about there, man. we have we are trying our best to try to have some really productive conversations, which is what this is all about. I kind of feel like, productive conversations lead to us, sometimes getting on the same page, sometimes not getting on the same page, but at least knowing where we all stand,
Yeah.
and getting the information so that we can kind of know what it is that we're going to battle, and that's what leads to some action. So I'm interested. What happened? What happened? Ice T is not a celebrity. That's your homeboy, huh? Michelle Moreno said, "Just hanging out with boys at home. That's what's up." Yeah. So I'm
What's
just
up?
saying, like, leading to some action. Oh, what I was gonna say was, I want to know more about Anthony. I want to talk to Brother Anthony Rogers, right? More about like power politics. We're all here to learn as well, and to get some more information on some of those things. So that's what's up. He says, "You're killing it today." Even Buddy seems to have his echo game back on today. What?
What? I don't
What you,
know,
what you
man.
talking
All
about?
right. Thank you. Thank you. I'll take it as a compliment. Thank you.
All right, that's what's up. Did you say something about some sports a little earlier too? We'll see.
Yeah, you said bad football, itis equals sleep.
Yeah. All right, that's what's up. It's 8:01 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, again, if you're just joining us, we're anticipating a visit from Naomi Hathaway, who's
Yeah.
with IB Black Girl. She can tell us about what's some stuff going on. Anybody in the chat go to the Kiki event? The
Man,
IB
you
Black
kiki?
Girls? Did you
Ah, yes, it
Kiki?
did.
Stacey Jean says, "No tamales. However, I'm rolling out pie dough and mixing up cookies while listening to you guys." Hey,
Okay, man, that sounds like a vibe.
I like that we're the soundtrack to the cookie
Yeah, to the
cookies.
what the cookies and stuff.
What I will say, I'll be putting it out there that I'm trying to get down on some tamales for sure. But I also get down on, the sweet potato pie. This is the time for that as well.
Mm,
As well.
mm.
So yeah, I had a slice of pie the other day, man, and it looked like sweet potato pie, but it turned out to be pumpkin, and I was like, there is a
Wah,
difference.
wah,
There
wah.
is a
Yeah, it is.
difference,
Man, there's some brothers slanging bean pies around the corner. They be at the
bro.
intersection around the corner.
Speaking of
Yeah,
which, where is brother
man,
Muhammad at?
man.
I was just looking at I was looking at something from Facebook, a memory from Facebook where that brother had the pies with that crust. Man,
Man. All right.
yeah, we had to find him.
Big
Mm,
bag, big bag.
one of these days I'm gonna figure out how to make them. They real hush hush about that recipe, but
All right.
we get in somewhere and be like, how do you make the bean pies? I need to know.
Big bag, big bag.
Woo-wee. All right then. Appreciate
Yeah.
you guys sticking with us. Uh,
I got a question. I got a question,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
How we feeling about AI? Y'all on the AI tip?
Oh,
Anybody's been jumping into the AI?
yeah, man.
Been using AI a little bit?
I know I have. I'll tell you that.
Really?
I go down the rabbit hole with the AI, bro. I'm about to have a whole AI bot team that's gonna be doing a whole bunch of automations.
So you here for the future AI?
Oh yeah, it's definitely it's the newest tool. It's the newest tool. You know, people get all doomsday about stuff like they going one day they're gonna take over and they're gonna do all this stuff. Look, bro, the AI, if AI is the end, like brother Anthony Rogers Wright is saying, there's a whole lot of other stuff that will signify the end besides AI. If the end is the end, it's just the end. But right now, AI is a tool, as far as I'm concerned,
Really?
to help us. Yeah, yeah. I'm on that tip that it's a tool. People AI might not take over your job, but a person using the AI might take your job. So
Okay.
that's what it is.
Sister Cameron says she's on the AI. Okay, I'm with you that AI is a tool, but there's some shortcomings to the AI. That's coming out in Nebraska
Mm,
Examiner. Oh, gotcha.
mm,
Haha. See what I did there?
I see what you did
Ooh,
there.
ooh, yeah.
Nice,
Them Google centers, man. Watch
nice.
out, watch out. Yeah, y'all on the AI, but it might be costing you a little more than you thought. Again, we talked about OPPD going up on a bill. A lot of people connecting it to the building of the data centers, saying that the taxpayers and the people, the small man, having to pay for these data centers. And guess what's in the data centers, y'all? AI. Hmm. Yeah, man. Again, this is again not a laughing fact, man. This is something that we've been talking about in the community, especially the OPBD plant in North Omaha. Been pushing for that thing to be closed, pushing for it to shut down. They've been kicking the can down the road. And
Mhm.
again, a lot of people pointing to the investment of the data centers. Again, these data centers that have been built, actually, Google in particular has spent millions and millions, actually close to $1 billion. And it's looking like it's going to go up. Actually, the 2024 capital investment makes for a total so far of actually about $4.4 billion in Nebraska data centers that help meet growing demand for Google Cloud, artificial intelligence innovations, and services such as the company's search, i.e., Google Maps, and workspace programs, according to spokesman Dan Herbke. Um, Again, Google actually looks like they will be expanding all three of their data centers right now. The newest data center is a project in Lincoln, which remains under construction on roughly 580 acres in the original Google campus in Nebraska. A Papillion project that broke ground back in 2019 is about 275 acres, and they're expanding in that area as well. Again, some of the money, following the money behind this, do you understand why so much attention and so many resources are being pointed towards making sure Google continues to grow? Google, for instance, has granted $250,000 to the University of Nebraska's foundation to support AI research. Also, earlier this month, Google philanthropic arm apparently gave about $250,000 to Creighton University to support that university's effort to prepare students for expanded use of artificial intelligence as well. Earlier this year, also, the university system announced a new undergraduate degree program in generative AI. So, again, more education opportunities for the 4 universities under the University of Nebraska system, in addition to a collaboration between UNO and UNL. Of course, the mayor of Lincoln, Larry and Gaylor Baird, said an investment in programs such as Spark underscores the capital city's growing reputation as a place for innovation and opportunity. And it all sounds great. It all sounds good and dandy. But again, once you look at how that is tied to the power situation, and again, power bills going up, coal plants staying open, what's the cost? What's the cost?
Man, Anthony Rogers Wright was right on that, man. Where's this? He said AI equals more power uses, higher power bill, and more emissions that choke out black people. Why do you think the OPPD plant is still open?
That's what I'm saying.
One of the reasons for sure. Pop says AI will be bigger than the internet. There you go. Says Tundai Patterson in the good morning, says bills been going up way before data centers scapegoat.
Okay.
That's gonna go up even further, is what I'm afraid of.
Man,
Master
that's
Miller
right.
Jenkins talking about AI, said tool for who? Just like money. Tools are used by powerful against the subjugated. AI is on display in Gaza as a means for war.
Mm.
Need to know more about that for sure. Stacey Jean says, buddy definitely on one today. That's what's up.
I set them up nicely.
Tamika Johnson said OPPD has built a plant at 120th and Ida area. So
Okay.
they building other plants for sure.
Is that coal? Is that nuclear? What they got going
Yeah.
on?
What is it? What is it? That's a good question. Um, yeah, I appreciate that. Measure Miller Jenkins says 580 acres. Just think of that amount of land that truly is 580 acres for a multi-billion-dollar company that benefits who? Yeah, I mean, there's some ways that I feel like there's some ways we can be benefited. Like I said, it's a tool. I definitely want to live in an area that has the appropriate amount of power. I definitely don't want to live in an area that is using their power plant, that the power plant is in the neighborhood choking us out. There's 2 ways. There's all kinds of different ways to kind of look at that situation.
Yeah,
What will
yeah.
we do for power? What do we
To
want? Clean power. What does that mean? Do we want nuclear? Like there's so many questions when it comes to that. And I understand that. Like the data centers are going to be somewhere. Are they going to be here? Do they? Is that going to be a benefit to us or a hindrance to us? Should we not have the data centers or the plants? I mean, a lot of questions here on that. Marianne Williams in the chat says data centers don't bring many jobs past the construction of the building. It's basically a warehouse for
man,
servers. Good point.
man, to that point, that was actually one of the points that I wanted to acknowledge. All this money, where is it really going? Again, $4.4 billion in investment, but is it going to the pockets of Nebraska workers? No, actually, according to the article Google actually declined to provide detail on how the $930 million breaks down between the data centers as far as what they're spending on expansion. But as far as to the point, jobs, they also declined to disclose the number of employees per site. But in a media statement, they said that more than 120 jobs for Nebraskans have been created since 2019 in a variety of full-time and external supplier roles, including computer technicians, engineers, what have you. But again, over the course of what, 5 years, 120 jobs, is that enough? Is that really making an
That's a good
impact?
question. There's a movement going on with is we're talking about AI, especially Pops is saying I use AI many times each day. It's invaluable. I will and will permeate society like nothing in history. Um, Definitely think, and also Kimber is saying not all tools are used for destruction. I would never use any tool for destruction. It depends on who's using the tool. Definitely, I can see
Yeah.
powers that be using things against us, just like always. Just like and I also think about data centers. I think about there's data centers being built, but there was data centers that were going to be built even before they were building things for AI because of the way that the cloud works. They've been
Mm-hmm.
building data centers just because of the cloud and
GPS.
so on. Right? Yeah, and so, that's always a thing, and it's always gonna be a thing too, being, things being built, for those reasons, because that's just where we're going. I think the bigger issue for us, especially hyper locally, is the situation with OPPD. Really, like they,
Right,
that's
right, right,
put the focus back on that. They've been kicking the
right.
can down the road to get that coal plant out of there. So I don't know. Anthony Rogers Wright says the new OPPD plant 120 is a fossil fuel plant, more fossil fuels, more climate disaster. So it does sound like it's another coal plant or whatever they're putting down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. So what is the cost of progress on that situation? I know pops in Vegas. They get their energy a different way through the dam system and a few other
Mm.
systems.
Okay.
But it's all generators. It's all we have to think about climate when it comes to these things. We also got to think about power consumption. What it is that we need it for. We reported before about how that we had power coming up from Texas at one point, and when that got cut, then we were out of power here in Nebraska for a long time. I mean, lots of questions when it comes to these things. I think Imagine Miller Jenkins saying, I think think of the pollution. Who gets hurt? Who gets hired? Who does that affect the ecological health of the environment? Again, who is this helping? So, very good questions on that. Kimmer says, when I was still in workforce development, the biggest need they were trying to fill with strictly construction. I
Mm-hmm.
want to jump back on that point too about the construction. There was a point made that after the construction of the thing, which a lot of people in our neighborhoods don't get those contracts for the construction in
Mm-hmm.
the first place, and then data centers don't have a whole lot of employees. So who is it helping? What is it doing? Good questions, very good questions. Appreciate that. Manager Miller Jenkins is also saying, who has the power to use these tools? Do you? Do I? Let's think critically here about how this will affect affect the community.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we do have the ability to use the tools. The other thing I
Yeah.
was going to say about that as well is that some of these is that there's a movement here about having your own servers run your own AI, which a lot of companies are doing, which a lot of even individuals are doing. So there's a lot more to it.
Mm.
But just like anything out there, there's benefits to us if we decide to use things a certain way. I will never use it on the scale of the powers that be there to using it and using it for the reasons why they do. They use things does make sense, but for the most part, yeah, what's the alternative to protest AI coming to existence or more power plants coming into existence, or
No.
where do we focus that energy?
Yeah, the fight isn't against AI. I mean, that's not that wasn't my point of, I just kind of use that as a segue. But the real fight is, like you said, hyper locally. What is the power plants doing? What is OPPD doing? We've been, talking, and it lines up because again, we're talking about these plants being built back in 2019 over 5 years, and I mean, that fight to get those plants closed has been going on for longer than that. But the promises to close it down has happened within the last 5 years, and again they keep kicking the can down the road. Why? So the power
Very
system and how it's impacting our community is definitely something worth looking at.
Good question. We'll continue this conversation on this particular subject. That's another one of those ones that can be ongoing for sure because it
Yeah, man.
ties into the power for sure. I have a question I'll put out there to all the organizations too to use AI in your organization since we're talking about it. How does it affect what you do in your organization as well? So love to know that. Love to know all these questions and keep digging in the latest things there is to dig on that. It is 8:15 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we have our special guest waiting in the wings, somebody whose intelligence is not artificial. Ladies and gentlemen, Naomi Hathaway in the house. Wow, look, you got it set up over there. How you doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Good morning,
Good
buddy. Oh,
morning.
it's been like it feels like ages since I've chatted.
Yeah,
How are
yeah.
you?
Doing fine,
I'm
doing
doing
fine.
fine. So good to
Yeah.
have you back. Yeah,
I
it's been
know.
a couple of years, right?
It has been a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. As we mentioned earlier, last time we had you on, you were a candidate, right? Candidate Naomi Hathaway. If I'm trying to remember, was it mayor or city council you were running
It was
for?
city council.
City council.
Yes. City
Okay,
council for
okay,
District
okay.
6. That also feels like a long time ago.
It does feel like a long time ago, it really does. But I was just thinking about that earlier. I was thinking you were one of the first candidates that I had to do any research on for the show and all that. I became a big fan of you back in the day. And so
Thank
when
you.
I heard that you were with IB Black Girl where all the good talent is going nowadays, then I was like,
Man,
it's appropriate. Right on.
Ivy Black Girl is an incredible organization. So it's exciting to be back with you all to talk a little bit about some. I mean, you really could talk to someone from Ivy Black Girl every day of the week, and you'd learn something new about what they're doing.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Before we
yeah.
get to that though, so how have you been? What have you been up to? What's going on with you? How's life?
Yeah, I've been good. So I moved from Omaha
Oh,
shortly after. Oh, it wasn't shortly after the election. It was we moved in the summer of 2022, and we currently live outside of Atlanta, and our family is
Oh,
building a house out in the woods.
okay.
So a big
wow.
change. And yeah, yeah, it's good. But I do a lot of work with Omaha organizations, so I'm back usually every couple of months to Omaha to do some work with nonprofits. So it's been good.
Omaha Atlanta connection. I'm here in Decatur right now, so
Oh well, hey,
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes.
hey,
Don't
pass the way.
Yeah.
buddy
Have
gonna be
any
over
did
there
you have
running
any
around your land with them kids in a
I
minute.
know, you're welcome anytime. Did you have any issues from the plant? Wasn't that
No, no. Yeah, we kind of had similar to when the Knox plant, kind of caught on fire in
Oh,
Omaha. We
really?
had a similar situation out here in Atlanta. There's still ongoing cases with that. But
yeah,
no, 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 we did not.
good. Okay,
Maybe
I'm glad.
a slight chlorine smell in the air, but nothing too crazy.
Yeesh.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Looks like people in the chat are already coming on through. Anthony Rogers Rice says, "Love those earrings, Naomi." That's what's up.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
hey,
Yeah,
nice.
those are very artistic. I love that. I love that. We appreciate you coming on. I'm surprised to hear that you are where you're at. There's such a Atlanta Omaha connection going on.
Man,
And I love the fact that I Be Black Girl. That means that I Be Black Girl got some representation out here as well,
yeah.
just like First Sky Omaha is doing. So I'm loving that. I'm loving that. What is you doing? Are you doing this remotely? You doing work remotely for them, or
Yeah,
how does
so
it work?
yeah, so I'm coming on to help with some projects. So the one that I am excited to talk about today is the maternal health initiative. So I wanted to share a couple of stats because I think it's really helpful to ground like in the reality of what Omaha is facing. Nebraska, as a state, ranks second highest in the United States for the percentage of maternity care desert counties,
Mm,
meaning how
mm.
far someone would have to travel for care, what kind of care is accessible.
Uh-oh.
And then this is shocking of pregnancy-related deaths in Nebraska were deemed preventable. And
Mm.
Nebraska also has a score of
93.
D when it comes 93% are deemed preventable, which is just really unnecessary and really horrible. Douglas County and Omaha scored an F when it comes to the preterm birth rate, which is higher than the US rate. So all in all, there's a lot of stats that prove that Omaha and the broader state of Nebraska have a long ways to go. Then you add in Black birthing people experience the highest preterm birth rate. The infant mortality rate among babies born to non-Hispanic Black women is 2.4 times the Nebraska state rate. So there's a lot of work to be done. And what's exciting is that IB Black Girl received a 5-year grant funded through the Health Resources and Services Administration. That's a lot of words. We call it HRSA, to create some innovative solutions to improve Black maternal and child health in Nebraska. So that's what I'm here to talk about. And what's really exciting is we are launching an application for subcommittees. And so we're looking for about 80 people from the Omaha, Lincoln, and across Nebraska area to serve on the subcommittee with us, as we help to really leverage their knowledge, their experience, their expertise, their talents, to support the task force so that we can address
You kind of breaking up.
outcomes. So
You kind of breaking up a little bit there. Make sure that your other windows are closed on your laptop there.
everything is closed. Is it still bad?
It's a little bit. It's just breaking up a little bit. We can hear you though. We can understand what you're saying. So
Okay.
just keep going.
Okay.
I'm putting the link in the chat right now for this
Thank you.
application initiative. Yeah. So definitely hit that. You need 80 people. You said, right?
We need 80 people. So there's 9 subcommittees, and we're looking. Some of them are lived experience if you are Black or have a different special identity, and then some of them are more your expertise. And so we have 9 different subcommittees. We're looking for people to join us. The application is open until December 6th. We will be reimbursing folks with a stipend of $100 per hour, and we expect this to be between a 6 and 9 month project. I'll really quickly, if you don't mind, run through the subcommittee topics. So inside of the Black lived experience, we're looking for a subcommittee full of women and birthing people. Another subcommittee will be for the Black lived experience for fathers. Separately, we wanted to be really intentional about maybe they're supporting partners that don't identify as a father. So spouses, grandparents, co-parents, other supporting individuals. So we're looking for that group. I also want to focus on system-affected women and femmes. So women and femmes who have been incarcerated and had that part of their experience, LGBTQ women and femmes, and then we have a transgender-centered subcommittee also. Then, not race or ethnicity identified, we have a data and evaluation subcommittee and a doula ecosystem committee. So it seems like a lot, but we really wanted to be really expansive and make sure that we're getting all of the voices and all of the experiences pulled in.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I appreciate that. I think I'm sitting here feeling the way that some people in the chat are feeling a little bit shocked. Like Tony Johnson says, with the amount of hospitals, health centers, and funded programs in Omaha, this shocking statistic. Rome's Reviews is saying it's hard for me to understand how Omaha is so advanced in healthcare technology and we rank so low in those statistics. Yeah, kind of tripping on that. So,
Well, and I think the cool thing about this is it's a 5-year initiative, and IB Black Girls bringing in a lot of community partners. So there's a lot of community partners that are doing work individually to try and address this, but we all know we have to do it together, and we have to do it from a bunch of different lenses and intersectionalities. And so this feels like the moment for some of these trends to start trending more upward when we talk about the lives of Black and Brown kids. Parents in Omaha. I wanted to just say, I saw Maggie, thanks for saving the link. Please share this with your friends, your family, your coworkers, your peers. Yes, Kimra, I see you talking about rural Nebraska, 100%. We want it to be Nebraska-wide. We will be doing one kickoff and training that we will do hybrid if we need to, but we want to see representation from all across the state.
there you go. Appreciate that. And I love the fact that you guys are including a lot of different people, like supporting fathers in the Black Lives experience, people that aren't saying that they're the kind of grand the village, people that are helping take care of kids in a different way too. And seems like you have a good spread of people that you're trying to get together to do this. So I even know a couple of doulas in Omaha. So this is
Nice.
yeah,
Okay.
there's some
Nice.
movements here. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I know a couple doulas now that I think about. So
Yeah.
yeah, you have to reach out to a few folk. But I am kind of curious about like the political landscape that all this is happening in. Of course, we do know that there was a very historic election that just passed. And Nebraska voters unfortunately voted a certain way as far as whether they will or won't support reproductive rights in the state of Nebraska. And I'm also again feel like I'm the only person that's ringing this bell, but Douglas County again acknowledged that racism is a health disparity, in the state, and again you can't ignore this cross sectionality between race and some of these statistics. So I'm just kind of curious, what support or pushback have you received from, Douglas County, the city of Omaha, the state of Nebraska? Like, what is the political environment that this work is being done in? Can you kinda-
Yeah, I think that there's generally across the board really strong support for this initiative. I think that
Okay.
it's been funded. It is a um, federal fund that is looking at different opportunities. IB Black Girl is the first and the only community-based organization, though, to receive this funding, which I think is really important. All of the other organizations that have received funding are more in the government or quasi-government space. So
Mm.
it's really important that this goes well, and that we have, I think success comes from what we all as a community put into it. And I know that it's hard when the Black and brown communities across Nebraska feel like they're always being asked for their experience, always being asked for their opinions, and then nothing happens from it. And I think what's beautiful about this initiative is that there's trust with IB Black Girl and the there's trust, and so there's trust from the community level, and there's trust from the funding level. And I think those three things combined with the fact that you all are helping to get the reach out and the knowledge about this work out, I'm really excited about the success. And I think what it's going to look like is there's going to be the 5-year plan, but then out of this subcommittees are going to be really defined next steps and action steps that then the task force will take forward. So it's not going to be just another one of those times where we ask for feedback and then it's like, okay, thank you very much, and then nothing happens. So
That's
Great.
good. That's great.
Great.
And what's the time frame again? You said on this is a 5-year program, and you're going to be gathering that information the whole time, or is it you gather
yeah,
information first, and part of that 5 years has to do with putting it together?
that's a good question. So we're in year 1 currently. The subcommittees part of the task force will be for the next year, ending September-ish of next year. And then after that, the remaining 3 years will be like doing the work of implementing the innovative things that are coming up. And we don't know yet what those innovations might be, which is why we're bringing the subcommittees together. IB Black Girl doesn't want to make assumptions, and the other community partners don't want to make assumptions about what those solutions might be. So it's going to be those 80 plus people helping us design those. And what will happen, the subcommittee members will come up with the innovations, report it out, and then what will happen next is literally people coming in to do the work and have those actions come to fruition.
Okay.
Man,
Um,
man,
go ahead.
I'm just thinking about Ashley. Ashley,
Yeah, go on.
powerhouse. Nah, man. You gotta really think about the coalition that she has built and the opportunity to really get some change in the area of reproductive rights as far as policy goes. Again, we talk about representation, we talk about, allyship and things like that. Like, you gotta think the chess that's being played. Ashley is a genius again in the legislature, not just with the community backing her, but have a whole coalition
Yeah,
behind her as far as IB Black Girl of powerful women,
yeah,
films, men, people supporting this effort. Like, you can't not get excited about the opportunities, as far as change
yeah.
with this. So yeah, I just want to
Well,
point
and
that out.
like you said at the top, Ashley has done an incredible job of pulling together a team of really incredible humans and that coalition. And I think that's what it's going to take for this is really action-oriented groups that are not afraid to say, this is the truth and this is the reality, and what are we going to do about it? I think
Mm-hmm.
it's been too long that we kind of placate ourselves and say,
Yep.
oh, that's terrible, like stat. We don't really know what to do. And so this initiative will end that ability to say we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I was wondering a bit. I know that she's been on some of these things and had different solutions for some of the same issues the whole time that IB Black Girl has been a entity. What are some of the things that she was doing that she can say she was successfully doing for these subjects before this grant came and before these new programs started? Can you speak on some of that work?
Well, I mean, I can't speak on a lot of it, just because I'm really like head down into this very specific project with the team. But I think that that this wouldn't be as successful if Ashley and her team at Ivy Black Girl, including the board members, had not done so much work in coalition building and in bringing on community partners. They have over 30 people or over 30 entities and organizations that are signed on to the task force for this initiative. And that wouldn't have happened if the trust hadn't been there. I also think that trust comes from actually doing the work that you said you're going to do along the way. And there's a lot of nonprofits that, don't. We all say that nonprofits are supposed to be ending this thing that is part of our mission. And I think Ivy Black Girl is one of those organizations that truly is working. Not necessarily put will always come up, but definitely working towards relationship first, trust first. The other thing that I think I love about Ivy Black Girl is they're not afraid to pivot when the community brings in new information or when community partners say, let's shift this way. I think that's really important too.
There you go.
Okay.
Imagine Miller Jenkins in the chat asks, can I share this with a friend who does parent ambassador work?
100%. Yes. Share it. I think what my request would be to share that link far and wide, and it's bit.ly/IBBG application. We never know what someone's identity or expertise might be. So I would just encourage folks to share it far and wide. We will be closing applications on December 6th, notifying folks of their selection mid-December, and then kicking off in January.
Okay. I'm putting in the chat right now some of the different categories that you mentioned that are that you're going to be pulling together with this, and I'll go ahead and put that bit.ly back into the chat as well for you guys to look that up. And then also the end date, December 6th. You said that this is closing.
Yeah. So is that a week? Just a little over a week. And so crossed. We get the. I also just can't underscore enough. Ivy Black Girl as a team knows so much about this topic and about wanting to really address the critical gaps in maternal health care. But we need the voices of people that have, either experienced it or can bring their own lived experience and expertise to it. So we can't do it without y'all. So thanks for having me on to talk about this.
Yeah, no, this is huge. I actually had a similar conversation with a group of men, just about this issue and the fact that men want to build families and men want to have children and keep their legacy going as well. And this is one area that men kind of feel powerless to help protect their families and build their families in the hospital room.
100%. Which is
can't do
then
anything.
why doulas are so important, right? To be able to help be that advocate and that second voice. 100%. And I think what's cool about this too is that the subcommittees are so wide and diverse because we know that a lot of times folks aren't asked about their experience if they're not the one that can birth. And that's not the reality of what it's like when you want to build a family or build your village or support someone who is.
There you go.
Feel that. Appreciate you coming on and giving this information. We'll definitely be continuing to spread this information out and maybe bring you back on another time to hear more about it. Before I let you go real quick, I just have one last question about you being in Atlanta and your connection to Omaha. How is it that you are, what's your connection to Omaha now that you've moved, and is it just that you just forever got love for us and you're going to keep on being a part of things, or what's the deal?
So my husband's family is from outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and we actually have some land. And so it was really important to me to reclaim that land and build a space for our family. The hope is that I'll build a retreat space on some of that land and be able to open that up for people to be able to have peaceful, safe gathering spaces. We'll see if that comes to fruition, but I will always be connected to Omaha. Nebraska is my birthplace, my home. And so it's a joy and a pleasure to still be able to be connected and helping with some impact.
Perfect.
Exactly. Are you doing any reproductive work out here in the Georgia area?
So I am yes, there's a small project for some abortion provider access that is in the southern states. But my focus so far has been on keeping with the relationships that I already have before I launch really hardcore into Atlanta. And people keep asking me if I'll get back involved in politics. And I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. It's all politics, right? Isn't all of life?
Yeah. It's a good way to put it.
Seems to be. Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you. I have no more questions.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you both. Chat.
Likewise. Let's do it again sometime soon.
That'd be good. Thanks. Have a good rest of your day. Yeah. Thank you.
You too. Peace. All right. Always a pleasure to talk to her, man. That's
Nice,
what's up.
nice.
Appreciate that. Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for the info. I love it, man. Let's take a quick break and we'll come on back and jump back into the conversation. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for giving us the time with our guests and being respectful to the guests with your good questions and comments. And yeah, we can get to some other subjects now when we come back from the break. So stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'll be
Hey, Paul B.
buddy to God. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Hey,
First Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
I'll be buddy to
Paul
God.
B.
All of you Chad Chimers, Ghost listeners, monitoring spirits. Everybody appreciate it very much. Black Zam 09 says top of the morning, y'all. Somehow I forgot today was Wednesday.
Slipping.
It's the weird, it's the holiday, man. It's the weird time of the week. When you got time off in the middle of the week, it throws you off. Everything feels like you're on the weekend,
Man,
But I
I
really appreciate everybody that took the day, got the day off today, that got on today. I appreciate that very much.
big time, big time. I definitely feel like yesterday was Sunday for some reason. I'm like, man, I'm about to watch football today, chill out, throw something on the grill.
Not
Nah,
quite, not quite
it's,
yet.
it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Anthony Rogers Rice says Naomi is such a brilliant thinker and planner, a platinum Earth citizen. That's how I feel about her too, man. That's what's up. What's the echo
Man.
game you talking about, bro? What's
You
this
talking about me being late on the jingles. It cutting me no slack.
Appreciate that. Imagine Miller Jenkins is reminding us about a serious topic that we need to continue to talk about. She said, with the approval of Cop City, how will that impact the relationship between OPD and IDF? Uh, how do the potential mayors plan to handle that relationship, and do the people feel invested in that outcome?
She's right on point with this. Actually, that's where I wanted to go. Actually, next with the conversation.
That's what's up.
She's right on point with that. We kind of got we got wrapped in the whole public defender conversation.
Mhm.
And I was making a connection, and you were asking about the public defender's office itself, which is this conversation we needed to have.
Right.
But I wanted to point out some of the things that he was mentioning, some of the issues that face particularly our community. The North Omaha, quote unquote, black and brown communities are going to be communities deeply impacted by the things that he's pointing out directly. And this Cop City, the potential mayor viewpoint of how Omaha police is being handled is going to play a big role in that future. Actually, this is kind of to add to the conversation. And in other news, Omaha City Council recently approved a new equipment for police department. So the quote unquote rich get richer, as far as one of the entities that takes up majority of the city's budget, again getting more toys. $317,000 for a new mini mobile command center, and also another $100,000 or so for quote unquote digital evidence management and movement towards a single form. Some consulting company is getting a part of that check there. But shout out to brother Dewan Lamont Haynes for calling out the situation, saying we know that actually they rack up their tab way more regularly, and we say that, oh well, it's for public safety. But again, who is this really helping? If we're really talking about safety, we need to talk about housing first and foremost, and then transit and transportation. Again, brother Lamont Hayes goes on to say the city needs to make that commitment, and the dollars that we put toward the police department can go into actual infrastructure, as well as mental health responders and rental housing inspectors. So again, Thank you for that, comment, Sister Miller Jenkins, because that's where my mind is. These are some of the issues that, um, it seems like the mayoral candidates that we were talking about ain't really on. They not really addressing these issues. So how do we get this to be addressed?
I happened to scroll by the city council meeting on TV yesterday. Just in passing, I saw Clarice Dombeck was up at the mic, and I was like, "What's she doing out there? What's she talking about?" And I jumped on. They were talking about a housing thing that was coming up, but I watched the rest of it, and it was interesting. They came to some proposal or something that they talked about vests for the police officers, and they there's a whole petition to get 100 new bulletproof vests. I guess they were, or whatever kind of vest they
Mm,
were talking about getting. And they do the whole at city council. They do the whole. Are there proponents for this? Are there opponents for this? Come up and speak. And everybody was coming up and speaking about everything. Then we got to the police vests, and there was nobody that came up to have that had any questions. It was just okay. It's passed. They're getting the vests, And I'm like, and that's something that I wouldn't, I wouldn't have heard about unless I was watching that. And that's not even what we're talking about with
man,
with stuff that, I mean, they're getting money and equipment and stuff all the time from every on all kinds of different directions. So interesting. We it is definitely something to talk about in a big way. Tony Johnson is saying this is a good question for North Omaha City Council candidates too. What we're doing about that. Also, Anthony Rogers Rice says Cop City and genocide are ranked as two of the biggest reasons Black folks stayed home in the Atlanta metro. It's
mm,
interesting. Interesting. Also, Tony Johnson says right now, the list of those running against Juanita Johnson looks interesting. So, some good questions there. Kimber Snipes says I'm supposed to be meeting with Lavanya Goodwin. We're looking forward to your article on that for First Sky Omaha News. No, I'm just playing.
I'm not.
I'm not really playing though. We know we want to see them notes, and let us know if you need some help with that too. We'll come shoot it or whatever you need. I would love to hear from her on those things too, and help support your situation there. Measure Miller Jenkins says this also leans into who do we want on city council and what
Mhm.
policies are we wanting to see. Seems like the local war machine is fully funded and the people are being defunded currently. Yep. Shouldn't we be giving that money to bulletproof vests for kids in high school instead of oppressive forces?
Man, or maybe, mental health providers to go into the schools and help these kids, or, other many other resources. We can run the gambit of how many other directions these funds can be allocated rather than, more war machine toys. Like,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
again, the mayor, we have opportunity to get some people in
right.
position to speak some sense into some of these issues. So yeah, and keep that in mind.
Very much so. Also, there's something that we'll continue to talk about this. I wanted to shift real quick
Yeah,
because
go
I
ahead. Go ahead.
I was thinking about this post that Kimber put out on her page. That's not it. Uh, uh, this is she wants everybody to show up for this community support for OPS. She wants everybody to show up to this event that's happening. She says I'm inviting everyone out January 6th to the Omaha Public School Board meeting. It's the night I get sworn in, and yes, I would love to. I would love to look out and see the seats full of people showing up for our babies. I want to show you. I want you to show up because the district needs you. It needs the families, the associations, businesses, and other institutions. We as a community are stakeholders, and what happens in the district is just as important as what happens at city council, city commission, state senate, and elsewhere. I hope to see you there. So appreciate that. This is a really good opportunity for us to get used to going down to the to the school board meetings. We can go down and cheer on Kim Redcup that's going to be getting sworn in, and then keep coming because, like she says, it's just as important in so many different ways. So, speaking of the kids, speaking of what we need for the kids and help and so on and so forth, it's a good way to get in. And we got somebody who's a Chad Chimer and a friend of First Guy Omaha fam that's going to
Hmm.
be in there trying to make some things happen, and I appreciate that. So I
Man,
hope
big time.
so.
Big time.
Yeah, let's make it a happen. Let's try to get down there and be there with her. So that's what's happening. Shout out to Kimber Snipes for doing all the work that she does, man, in a big way. Big way. Wanda Lewis says maybe with the vest they won't feel as threatened for their life. Could save the life of a civilian.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it.
Aren't they?
Yeah,
Don't they have bulletproof vests on already?
yeah, man.
It's just new ones. I don't think it's gonna make that big of a difference. I don't even know if they're bullet. I guess they said something about some vests. That's all I know. I can't imagine what other kind of vest they would be getting for the police department. I said if I was there, I would have got up and said, "Are there going to be cameras on these vests? Does anybody have any questions at all?" Didn't sound like it. So yeah, this is it's interesting. Magic Miller Jenkins says, "Man, I'm excited that Kimra Snipes won her race." Yeah, me too. She says, "True accountability will be found in an area that is sorely lacking."
Yeah, big time, big time. She also, Kimra, speaking of that, says when our alliances are functioning properly, do you have a city council person showing up to announce that something like that will be on the agenda? Saying you need a city council person who knows how to properly engage community. Man, big time.
Big time.
Communication rules the nation, man. I don't just say it because it rhymes. It sound good.
Yeah.
Real.
About to check in with the documenters program. We had the person on this run the documenters program on recently, and that I know they're going to the city council meetings, and we're always working with them, trying to work out how their reports work, how that information gets to us, if we can help get that information out. So they may be able to assist us with that. They're going to be at those meetings anyway. They know what's coming up, and they can let us know when some of the things are, because they're going to be there documenting them anyway. So shout out to Documenters Program, and we'll definitely continue to work with them, speak with them on that. It's a good idea to try to check in with them on some of the agendas that they're going to be reporting on. So, what you over there, man? You into something? What you thinking?
I'm just looking at this last article. Just yeah, yeah. I don't know if y'all want to talk about it, but
I don't know. I
yeah, I'm just
mean,
about 15 minutes left in the show, so just trying to think of okay, what we got left. Just thinking ahead. I'm sorry.
appreciate
But
that.
yeah, I guess we can run through it really quickly. It's not even really a lightning round. Just a
Okay.
question that's been asked. Again, this is going back to the conversation we are having about the racing situation. The sheriff's office chiming up about racing,
Mm.
as I prepare for this show, more hit and runs, more pedestrians getting hit.
Hmm.
So I will like to, yeah, it's still crazy out there in these Omaha streets, man. So of course, it's not all racers, but racing has been kind of pointed out as a big culprit for some of these accidents and things going on. So I will say, as holiday season, kids out of school, people in town, drive safely. Drive safely out there on those roads as you go to the store. But there's a article coming out of the Omaha World Herald about some legal questions on the constitutionality of Sheriff Aaron Hanson's directive to indefinitely seize individuals' cars and phones who have been connected to street racing. Again, if you remember a few months ago, actually a few weeks ago, Douglas County Sheriff Aaron Hansen issued a directive calling on deputies to seize vehicles and cell phones of drivers suspected of street racing, stunt driving, and other dangerous exhibitions. A few car shows, unsanctioned car shows at parking lots, things like that. But again, experts have raised the question whether that move is legal. One scholar questioned whether the sheriff has the authority under current law to seize cars and cell phones indefinitely. A longtime public defender called the directive blatantly unconstitutional. Again, suspected reckless driving can include excessive speeding, sudden lane changes, and spinning tires, things like that, but does not necessarily lead to the indefinite seizing of one's cars or phone. So, yeah, more to look into with that situation as far as the legality of it. But yeah, there you have it.
Man. Yeah, I was wondering that when I was reading about this situation, because I'm just like, how, that I mean, I guess they got the power to be, doing stuff like that, just taking stuff over. Uh,
Man,
and do we need to, like, what I'm saying, like, I'm on that, like Ron's reviews is saying, racing is a concern. The high speed police chases should be a bigger concern. Yeah, so it definitely should be a concern as well. But yeah, there's, with all the stuff that's been going on, for sure.
a
You
lot of
know,
hit and runs, a lot of
yeah.
pedestrians.
People
Man, it's
dying,
bad.
man, kids
Yeah,
dying
man.
and stuff,
Yeah,
like
man.
what happened on 10th Street. So that's a concern as well. And yeah, and there's not really, we don't really got the, I'm from California, bro. Car culture, like most of the car clubs I grew up with were in Fast and Furious first movie. So I know a little bit about some of those things and some of that. And I don't see nowhere in Omaha you can be having those street races. It ain't built like that. I'm not surprised that there's accident after accident when it comes to that type of situation. This ain't the culture for it. So I don't understand. how it seems really, really reckless. So what do you do about it? Not sure. I'm not quite sure that taking somebody's car and phone away, like you said. I mean, this article is about whether or not that's even legal. Um, so and it really depends. I'm sure that the people who have family members that passed away from some of these accidents want more than that. So it really is kind of, I guess, we can start from there. Is it even legal for that to happen in the first place? And, I guess we'll figure it out. But yeah, I would say that too, man. Every time I get on the road out here, I'm way more nervous driving in Omaha than I ever have been driving in LA or anywhere else, except Mexico. Mexico be wild when you're driving. But
Man.
Mexico ain't got no, it's just like no rules. You just make sure you don't
Yeah,
hit
yeah,
nothing.
yeah. Man,
But
but
mhm.
yeah, definitely something that's brewing as more and more accidents and to your point, deadly accidents are occurring in the community. Yeah, people chiming up about it. It's an issue that will continue.
Big time, big time. Let's jump into a little bit of haps while we got a few more minutes
Hey,
left here in the thing.
what's
We
the
haven't done that.
haps?
We haven't done
What's
it in a minute,
happening?
man. Go ahead, second, buddy. Put that
Man,
Luther
yeah,
on.
what's going down? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As a matter of fact, let's go ahead. Let's just bump it, man. Shoot, who's
Well,
gonna do all
say
that?
so.
What's the haps? What's happening? What's going down?
That's my guitar.
That's your guitar. Put that Jimmy Jam on it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, let's do a little bit of haps, man. We haven't done the haps in a long time, and I'm down for that. First and foremost, I just want to give a shout out to our partners over there at Weberize, man. Star Trek Rich,
Getting
Margie in the
down.
house having the grand reopening. It's going down, man. This Saturday is coming up, 4 o'clock to 6 p.m. Definitely slide on through and say what's up. Say welcome back to Star Trek Rich. Welcome back to Weberize. And yeah, mix and mingle a little bit in there in that 4 to 6 time frame, because there's gonna be a lot of folks that are doing some really good work podcasting here in the city, and they're doing that work through Weberize, because Weberize gets down. So shout out to Star
Yeah.
Trek Rich and Margie, man. Join us for the grand reopening, 4 to 6 p.m. on Saturday coming up. If you got some time during the weekend, I definitely suggest you slide through. It's gonna be light refreshments, studio demonstrations for the curious, and sign up for a raffle for 1 hour studio recording session even.
Nice, nice. I was
Yeah,
just gonna
man.
say, I know some of yous out there got some podcasts or some podcast ideas. Yeah, tap in, man. Weberize will take care of you.
Big time, big time. Go ahead and get your tickets early for the Omaha Entertainment and Arts Awards as well. That's happening February 16th. It's going coming up. They just released the nominees, and I've been seeing a lot of traffic. A lot of people on social media talking about the nominations, and yeah, everybody's kind of hyped about it, man. We got some poetry beef going on, and we got all kinds of stuff happening this time around with the nomination. So shout out to DJ Short T, who's now been nominated 15 times. Hopefully this will be her year.
Okay.
So yeah,
Man.
lots going on, man. Let us know if you got anybody, or if you or anybody that you that's in your camp is nominated for anything for the OEAs, and go ahead and get your tickets and go ahead and come celebrate them if that's the case.
Tap
And
in.
it's gonna be a good show, actually. So yeah, shout out. Oh yeah, A's get down. Also in the haps, the brothers are happening. This is happening coming up Saturday as well from 3 to 5. So
Man.
there's a little bit of slide through. You can slide through here first and slide out, slide over to Weberize. But this is the Black Men's Mental Wellness Beyond the Stigma event that's happening, sponsored by Rib Shack. Shout out to Rib Shack.
The Rib Shack.
3 to 5, Assembly of the Saints, 4224 North 24th Street. Assembly of the Saints getting down doing it. It's a free event for the men. Come on through. We need to have some discussion. Black men need to get together and talk about mental wellness
Man.
and beyond the stigma, man. It's a safe space for you to be able to go, show emotion, open up, gain a brotherhood, man. The people that are on the same path as you, and trying to figure out what needs to happen to take care of each other. This doesn't happen very often. Men's mental wellness doesn't really get touched too much. So shout out to these brothers that are putting things together. As you can see, young folks, elders in the room.
I was just gonna say, it looks like they got some elders, man, can impart some wisdom, share some things across generations. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Check
Big
it out,
time,
man. Shout out to brother Johnny No Good putting that together.
big time, man. PG Poodles. Oh man, Rose review be cracking me up. So yeah, that's what's coming up. I also want to give another shout out to Black Music United Toys for Tots. Sign up, definitely check them out. You can go over there Monday through Friday from in between the 25th and December 6th coming up. Pick up dates and times will be given in time at time of sign up. If you have any questions for this, how to get some toys to them or how to get some toys from them, I guess go call
Yeah.
402-213-7053. Black Men United doing the good work. Still haven't had brother Will Young yet on the
My
show.
brother Hamilton.
We've been trying to get Brother Hamilton on, and haven't been able to
Yeah.
get him on yet. He's always busy doing the good work too. So
Man, yeah.
that's what's up. We're coming up on the end of the Native American Heritage Month, and like we say, everybody, there's people that are doing Thanksgiving tomorrow. A lot of people who understand the origins of Thanksgiving and don't want to get down with it, so they get down with the Indigenous Peoples Day the next day
Yeah.
instead of. Let us know what you guys are doing. I know my family gets together because people got time off. They don't necessarily get together for Thanksgiving, but they got time off, and
Right.
turkeys is cheap. So sometimes we get together and do some of that. So yeah, I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we all came away just like we got to quit with this colonizer food and we had to
Man.
make a decision to do something else besides that turkey and all the rest of that mess. Like
Man.
everybody came away just like, yeah, I ain't feeling good. I don't know about this.
That's crazy.
Try
That's
something different.
family did the same thing. I do feel
Really?
like it is kind of a thing. Like it does feel like a trend that people are kind of getting away from the traditional Thanksgiving turkey dressing, cranberry sauce type vibe. Like, this year my family we're doing a fajita bar. So,
So, see, there you
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Doing it different, man. Doing it a little different.
Yeah, man. I know a lot of. I'm around a bunch of vegans and stuff now, so I see how the vegans is doing things. And man, rich foods, you can do things. You can do other
Yeah, oh
things.
yeah, oh yeah,
You
oh
don't have to
yeah,
always
yeah.
walk away like can't nobody do nothing but sleep after you get done eating.
Man, like brother Anthony Roger Wright said, bad football and the itis equals passed out.
There
Passed
you
out.
go. All I need is the itis. I'll pass
Man,
out
there you
on
go.
whatever football's going on. I'll be passed out anyway. That's about it for the haps as far as I have right now. So I appreciate everybody. Let us know what you got going on over the vacation period of time and so on. Gwen Easter says, I love traditional Thanksgiving. I gotta admit, I was when you started naming off a couple things, I was a little bit like I do miss some of that my cousin's stuffing
Mm.
though. Stuffing be good. Stuffing be good.
Ah,
I like
green
my
bean
cranberries.
casserole.
I like my cranberry sauce in the traditional way that the cranberry sauce happens out of the can, jiggling.
Jiggly.
But you know me, man. It's all about the. For me, it's the menudo pozole. It's the it's the
Okay.
it's the tamales. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
that Mexican coffee hot chocolate combo. It's I'm all about that kind of traditional. That equals fall to me when I see that
Really?
start
Okay.
to happen. Yeah.
Hey, somebody hook my man's up, man.
Yeah, man, and I don't know about the doggone turkey though, man. The turkey is the one that's really getting me.
Really?
I saw a thing with a meme one time where somebody was acting like the turkey leg wasn't even the turkey leg; it was a pork leg. Have you seen the
Hmm.
turkey leg? Turkeys don't got legs that big. Well, everything is a lie. I was like, oh man,
Oh man, I hope I just had me a turkey leg the other day. I went to a
man,
food
you sure? You
festival.
sure?
Oh man,
Better check
man,
it out. Better check it out. But yeah, it's some of the things and some of the ways that some of the things are cooked. I'm not sure. Like I said, man, to me, it's all about living alive with one another. So it don't matter
there
what it
you
is
go.
you put on the table. If you guys are getting together to do it, then that's the key.
There you
And
go,
so yeah, man, I think that's what it's all about. And like I said, man, we can't get away from stuff like this without thinking about the origins of it. The
man.
origins of the indigenous people getting bamboozled,
Slaughtered.
slaughtered, diseased, land stole, all the things. So be thankful, but
Man,
be thinking about it. Yeah. So anyway, just appreciate everybody that is on. Like I said, that's off of work right now and still tuning in. Please share the show and go back and watch it in its entirety. Facebook, YouTube especially. Really appreciate everybody. Wanda Lewis said, "I smoked my turkey with cherry wood." Okay,
okay,
now
okay.
we moving a little closer to this.
Talking your language.
See,
Big bag,
I'm
big
talking
bag.
this mess, but I'm gonna have me a turkey plate from somebody. So
Hey, somebody hook brother up. Like I said, man. I gotta get to the store here in a second before things get too hectic out there. Yeah, yeah.
oh man, yeah, there you go. She said no oven turkey for me. I heard that. That's
Okay,
what's up.
okay, okay.
Marianne Williams says, "Have a great holiday. All appreciate you guys.
Yes,
Like I said,
yes.
coming on up. But I forgot Miss Gwen Easter's comment about her being hit
Yeah,
by race drivers around 114th and 20th. And this past summer, they scared me so badly because my mom was killed in a car accident by a kid speeding, driving, smoking weed in 1995. Hope police can put a stop to race driving. Man,
man. Yeah,
personal.
again.
Hmm.
It's sorry to break it to you. It's supposed to be snowing out there on Thursday, man. So that's what the news is saying, man. I'm just
Buddy,
I'm just the
listen,
messenger. I'm just the
this is a
messenger.
family show. You can't be cussing at
Yeah,
us.
I'm just the messenger. All I'm saying is, if you got to get out there making the last minute run to the store, going to your family house, please drive safely. Please, please.
Yeah. For sure. Rose Review says, have a blessed holiday weekend. Everyone, reach out if you need a seat or a plate. My man, Mayor Sanchez, reach out.
He said he
Most
got the
definitely.
tamales too.
What did he? What?
Yeah, he said he got the tamales from Sam's, but not
Oh, that's
Sam's
right. That's
Club.
right. That's
Yeah,
not Sam's Club. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate that very much. Appreciate everybody who is still, still treats the fam like the fam. Good show today.
Man,
Yeah,
that's what it's all
yeah.
about.
That's
That's what
what
it's
it's
all
all
about.
about. Get out
Speaking
of
of
here,
the
buddy.
film,
Mhm.
yeah,
Go
speaking
ahead.
of the film, Pop's giving us some love. He says, thanks for another great week of education, enlightenment, and entertainment. We love you and the First Guy Omaha. And see you next Monday. Indeed. See you next
Appreciate
Monday.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, with that, man, we appreciate you. A big shout out to Miss Naomi Hathaway. Around my neck of the woods, coming through and stopping with us on First Guy Omaha to talk about some of the things. If you haven't already, please check out that survey,
Hmm.
fill
Yeah.
out the application, and maybe join one of those committees. Share your lived experiences and hopefully help make some change, man. So with that, catch the same time, same place, Monday and Wednesday, right here on First Guy Omaha in the morning. In the meantime, between time, enjoy time with the family, man. Enjoy time with your loved ones. Live alive with one another. Eat good, but don't overeat, and make it back to us in one piece, man. So with that, Paul B,
Yo.
take it away, man.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Pops, getting up this morning early. Appreciate that very much. Gwen Easter says, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the show. Thank you. Thank you. Says Eugene says, great show, fellas. Appreciate it very
Hey,
much.
okay, thank you,
Shout
thank
out
you.
to Mama God that's in town over there in Atlanta watching the babies. And miss her. We
Yeah,
miss her online, but we're glad she's there, living alive with the babies. That's what's
yeah,
happening.
man.
Appreciate that. Also, Anthony Rogers Rice says, have a blessed holiday, y'all. All the love and solidarity with our indigenous comrades. Yep,
Big
yep.
time.
Thanks, PNB. Great show.
Yeah,
Appreciate you,
man.
bro.
Thank you. Love,
Appreciate your
love.
contributions too, man. And we always are speaking up on things, but we appreciate your contribution, and we appreciate everybody else that contributes as well. A lot of times we can get into a lot of some discussion with the brothers and sisters on here that have a lot to say on here, but I don't want that to dissuade you from coming in and putting your comments in as well. They know that this is a fam, and everybody's going to be doing what they do, even if they have a lot to say on at the time. So as you can see, those conversations we're trying to make sure that we give honor to those conversations because they're necessary, and that's the whole reason why we're doing what we're doing here, so we can kind of work some of these things out. So we hope we don't bombard the show sometimes, like me and brother Anthony Rogers, right, buddy, and also Maggie Miller Jenkins and some other folks that comment a lot, and we're going back and forth. Let us go back and forth, but come in with us. Don't let that dissuade you from also being a chat chimer. We need all the voices we can, and we need you to spread the word and get even more voices in as well. So
Yeah, man.
yeah, we're gonna do that. Love supreme. That's right. Anthony Rogers
Yes,
Rush said, "Love
sir.
supreme." That's all. Hard discussions, hard love.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Love supreme. And with that said, let's not forget about expressing yourself. Do your art. Do the things that is going to change hearts and minds. And make sure that you spend some time doing that because we can have all the discussion in the world, but you ain't gonna talk everybody into doing nothing. But
Man.
you can pull at their heartstrings with the art and the music and the things that you do. That's the real tools of the warriors of the righteous warriors. So don't
Man.
forget, man, engage in love supreme. You're with your family, live alive with one another also means creating things with one another, expressing yourselves to one another, and so on and so forth. Please do that. And we'll catch you soon. We'll come back and talk about whether what we did. We'll
Yeah.
share what we did with each other as well as fam. So appreciate you very much. Shout out to the Umaha tribe elders. who allow us to be on this land and speak while we're here. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, our elders, who are allowing us to speak before you and also adding your wisdom to the conversation. And we really appreciate you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you, having the hard conversations, having the love supreme, and taking care of each other in a real way, and really kind of coming to some togetherness and better knowledge, be better informed. That's what we're here for. So shout out. Appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it is Wednesday. That means we won't see you until Monday. Only a few episodes left in this season. The December 11th, we're down to four episodes left in this season. So after December 11th, we'll take a break and we won't be back until January 15th. But like I said, we might have some things in between there that you need to be looking out for too. So definitely sign up to YouTube for that, because we're going to be doing that exclusively on YouTube. So sign up to YouTube, get your account going over there with us, like and subscribe, hit the bell, all those good things. We're going to definitely be doing more than that. And don't forget to sign up to the weekly wrap as well, in order for us to have that conversation when we're not live. Most definitely check it out. So appreciate everybody that's done that already. Appreciate all the supporters as well, the $10 people, $25 people, $50 people, the monthly supporters that are really helping us keep this thing going. If you have not done that yet and you feel inclined to do so because we're bringing some kind of value to you, please consider it. Go to firstsky.omaha.com, hit the join button.
My man.
Got a new button over there. Got a new button.
Yeah.
Hit the join button and come on through and become a reoccurring member of the channel, so we can continue this and expand it, bring on some new reporters, and expand news and do all the things that we're trying to do over the course of 2025. Also, stay tuned for more content creator camp coming up as well.
Yeah, man.
Behind the scenes too. So yeah, lots of things happening. Excited about it.
Yeah, the sister Gwen Easter, she asked, am I bringing back the highlights on TikTok? We got some things going. I don't know if we'll be making a move back to TikTok, but definitely look out on the YouTube. Look out. We got some things coming. So yeah.
And I want to put one more thing in the ear. If you're talking about social media, I need to know about what you guys are feeling about this new, the place that they're going. They're leaving Twitter.
Yeah,
to
go Blue Sky. Is that
Blue Sky? Yeah. What y'all think about Blue Sky? Let us know. We already got a couple chat chimers over there. I'm over there personally, so I can see what's up. Let us know if we need to bring First Sky over. Yeah, for sure. Let us know. We'll talk about it when we get back. See you Monday. You guys have a great holiday. Peace.
Is it?
By the way, Van Glorious, this is protected by the Red